A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity in less than 2 hours. Right now, you're seeing a live satellite image from NASA of this long-awaited eclipse. The partial eclipse starts right now with totality expected around 3:09 p.m.
That means the moon will completely cover the sun, and you'll be able to see it from right here in the Miami Valley. Let's go ahead and take a look at the path of totality. People from Maine down to Mexico will experience a total blackout for about 4 minutes this afternoon. Ohio is directly in the eclipse's path that has not happened since 1806. All of the Miami Valley is in the path, and some areas are in the right spot for what scientists call the maximum eclipse, which is where the moon blocks most of the sun. And most people are taking advantage of this rarity with events and watch parties happening all over the area all day long. Yeah, thousands of families are gathered at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force to experience the once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon together and also learn a thing or two in the process. Two people learning right now, 2 News anchor John Seibel, Storm Team 2 Chief Meteorologist Brian Davis are there live for us. They've been at the museum all day. How's it looking out there, guys?
Well, hey guys, yeah, we're out here at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force. Brian, we've been out here since about 10 o'clock this morning. There was already a lot of people when we got out here, but we have a crush of humanity out here right now with the eclipse beginning here. We'll start to see it here in our skies here at Wright Pat at about 1:53, just a few minutes away.
8 minutes from now, yeah.
So we've had a lot of people come out here, and you know, you guys are just talking about that path of totality. It's so interesting because we now, with our technology that we have, Brian, we can go to any city and find out exactly when the eclipse starts, exactly when totality will begin, how long totality will last, and when the partial eclipse will then end. There was a time when they didn't know any of this, and it was a complete surprise.
No, you couldn't. And what's interesting is, with the technology you were talking about, my nephew lives on East Main in the house I grew up in Troy, and my sister's like out on the north side, out by Troy-Urbana, and he's going to get to see the eclipse, or she'll get to see the eclipse 1 second longer than he will. So he's already figured that out.
Yeah, so take that, William. So here we are at Wright Pat. We're going to start to see the eclipse at 1:53. Totality will begin about 3:10. So you got a good amount of time that the partial eclipse, the penumbra, Brian, it's called a penumbra. The partial eclipse, yeah. And totality is known as the umbra. See, we've geeked out over all this over the past few days to get ready for it.
Right, and umbrella, you know, you use that to shield your head from the rain and the sun, a parasol.
Yeah, and we will have totality here at Wright Pat for about 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and then we'll start to see the partial again, and that'll end around 4:25. It's incredible because the actual shadow starts about 2,500 miles straight south of Hawaii, and then works its way up to Mexico, and then through Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and works its way up to Ohio, and then eventually will end just south and just west of the UK.
Yeah, it's a long path, and it's amazing to think about it. I mean, the celestial aspect of it, the fact that we have to be in just the right distance, or we'd only have, if the moon were a little farther away, we would have nothing but annular eclipses, and if it were a little bit closer, well, we'd have some serious tides. So it's just in the right spot.
Thankfully, the moon is just the right size, just the right distance from Earth, so we can have this total. Now, everybody wants to know, Brian, what we see right now looks like this is going to be a great experience. How long is this going to last?
Well, you know, it would have even been better this morning when we had completely clear skies. But we do have some high, thin cirrus around now. But you know what? We're still going to be able to see it. And even though we have those cirrus clouds up there blocking out some of the sun, do not look at that with bare eyes or even with the sunglasses. You got to have these kind of glasses to watch.
Got to put these puppies on. You could probably hear the music in the background. The Band of Flight from the Air Force is playing right now. We're actually going to talk with them later on today. Coming up about 2:30, the Lieutenant Governor, John Husted, is going to join us. But for right now, we're going to wrap it up here at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force and send it back to Brooke and Caleb in the studio.
All right, thank you, John and Brian. I don't want to say I'm jealous, but they got the dream assignment today. Looks like they're having fun out there.
Yeah, they're having a great time, and they're not the only ones taking advantage of today. There are events and watch parties happening all across the Miami Valley right now. We're bringing you live team coverage from a handful of them. Storm Team 2 meteorologist Cameron Saliga is at the Boonshop Museum Sunwatch Village, and we have 2 News in several counties keeping an eye on traffic today. Kajaja Hawkins is traveling through most of them, and Live Drive 2, both Aaliyah Seabrooks and Jack Pohl are in Miami County.
Our coverage does not stop there. Grace Hewitt is in Darke County. We have Sartaj Singh in Auglaize County, and then Allison Gens is reporting live for us in Logan County today. But no matter where you are going to watch this eclipse today, a lot of people expected to be on the roads. We want to go to Kelly King now for a check of traffic conditions. Kelly?
Yeah, Brooke, Caleb, so far, so good. No reports of any incidents right now. We remain mostly green on the map, but I have seen a little bit of heavier traffic. It's from the south coming up to the north. It's on I-75, and that is what ODOT says is going to be busier today. I-75, especially after the eclipse, with all of those people getting home after watch parties. So we will keep our eye on that. But so far, pretty good throughout the Miami Valley. Now, 2 News reporter Kajasia Hawkins is on the road right now in the passenger seat of Live Drive 2. Kajasia, what are you seeing? Where are you? What do things look like right now?
Yeah, Kelly, we are on I-75, and as we are on I-75, and we're seeing some of that heavy traffic that you were talking about. I'll give you a look at the roads. If you look at the roads, you can see that there are a lot of cars out here. Things are still moving pretty smoothly, but there is heavier traffic, and we expect for these delays for this traffic to get even heavier as the eclipse comes and passes. And several counties plan well in advance for the heavy traffic, some shutting down roads, putting out detours, and postponing construction projects. Ohio is expecting upwards of 500,000 visitors today, and Governor Mike DeWine ordered all local entities in the state to establish a safety plan for the influx of tourists, including traffic safety. Ohio State Highway Patrol and the Ohio Department of Transportation shared tips ahead of the eclipse. They say plan, prepare, and be patient ahead of the event, and of course to expect delays. And we will keep you up to date on all of these delays if they happen and where the traffic will be. And as I said, right now we're on I-75 and things are moving smoothly, but there's definitely heavier traffic. Reporting on I-75, Kajasia Hawkins.
All right, Kajasia, thanks so much. Well, Auglaize County is expecting a lot of visitors. Wapakoneta is one of those cities on that maximum eclipse line we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the Air and Space Museum opened its doors to locals and tourists to watch the eclipse at its fullest today. 2 News reporter Sartaj Singh joining us live from Wapakoneta Air and Space Museum as people wait for that total eclipse. Sartaj?
Yeah, you cannot eclipse the excitement that you're feeling here at Wapakoneta, especially here at the Armstrong and Air and Space Museum. Now, take a look behind me. This has just been a steady stream of people just coming in and just setting up shop, setting up their lawn chairs, setting up their blankets, just to take in the eclipse, which, by the way, we're just only maybe a little bit over an hour away. Now, the partial eclipse does start at 1:54 p.m. and total eclipse starts at 3:09 p.m. with the maximum at 3:11 p.m. Now, as you can see, a lot of people are just gathering, getting their spots as much as they can. The Armstrong Air and Space Museum is open for anyone to come in, tour the museum, and also just get some merchandise as well. There's some special eclipse merchandise going on down there as well. Now, I have 2 people here who drove all the way from Brooklyn, New York, Jaden and Neelan Baptiste. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk with us. We appreciate it. So tell us, what really drew you here to Wapakoneta?
Well, you know, we had to come out again all the way from Brooklyn, New York. You know, spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. You know, that's what we represent out here. Yeah, we've been waiting for this eclipse since 2017. We attended the last one at the Liberty Science Center in Newark, New Jersey, and while it was a partial eclipse, it was still an amazing experience. So we had to do the, say, 6-7 hour drive all the way out here to get the full experience of totality. It was absolutely irresistible. All right.
And what do you have to say about coming here and watching the eclipse? And you see a lot of people have chose Wapakoneta as a destination.
I'm not surprised, but it's really good energy out here. Yeah.
Yeah. And just talk about, too, you guys mentioned that you came all the way here to see the total full eclipse. You only saw a partial eclipse last time.
Yeah.
So are you guys excited? You're getting closer and closer to it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, total solar eclipse, I've been telling everyone I know at this point, is something that everyone should experience at least once in their life. So, you know, it's definitely worth it. And it won't be happening again until 2044. So this really and truly is a dream come true, not just for myself and my brother, but also for up-and-coming and experienced astronomers, you know, anyone interested in space across the country and across the world, you know. and happening right here at the Neil Armstrong Museum in Neil Armstrong's hometown 55 years after the moon landing. It's really symbolic, you know.
Yep. And you guys are counting down. I know you saw your camera over there and some photographers, some telescopes too. So you guys are ready to go.
Yeah. We were preparing for this for a while, so we definitely bought out all the stops.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk with us. We greatly appreciate it. And we're just a little bit away from seeing the eclipse, so hey, it's going to be a good one.
Exactly, man, exactly. You know, some people waited 30 years for this stuff, and this is the sort of thing we'll be telling our kids and grandkids about. So it's just amazing to get that sense of euphoria, you know, while we still have it. You know?
That's right, that's right. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk with us. Now, we still have a lot more coming here from Wapakoneta as we get closer to the moment where everyone looks up into the sky and sees a total solar eclipse. In Wapakoneta, Sartaj Singh, 2 News.
All the way from New York. Thank you, Sartaj. And a great day to be outside, truly.
Yeah, there are some clouds out there, but the real question for everyone is, are we going to be in the clear for the rest of the evening? Storm Team 2 meteorologist Steve Norris is here with a check of our forecast. Hey, Steve.
Hey guys, yeah, Caleb, Brooke, we have just some thin clouds, so those cirrus clouds, and it's not going to take away from the eclipse that we are about to see. In fact, it's underway right now. 1:53 is when it started. If you look outside, you can see live Doppler 2 HD. Thank goodness, no rain at all, and just those high thin clouds that I talked about. As you look in the downtown area, you can kind of see a little haze there in the background, but still a lot of sunshine. And again, we're going to be just fine as we enter totality right around 3:09 this afternoon. And you can see these conditions around the Miami Valley. We are right around the 70-degree mark, give or take a degree or so. So it is very, very mild. What a day to see this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If you're going to make it a whole day out of it and extend things even into the evening, at least the festivities, it's going to be nice even then. 75 degrees at 7 o'clock, 68, still very comfortable at 9 o'clock, and then we'll see those clouds start to increase by late in the evening. 11 o'clock will be right around 61 degrees. And I will tell you, we're going to be dry tonight and dry for much of tomorrow, but we do have some rain starting late day and into tomorrow evening, and we'll talk more about that as we go along this afternoon. Guys?
All right, thanks, Steve. Well, if you were awake this morning, you may have experienced a power outage. It put some people in the Miami Valley in the dark ahead of today's eclipse. AES has since restored power for most of those customers affected. The company cited an issue with the equipment at a substation. It looks like there are still about 40 customers waiting for that power to come back on, though. And right now we're taking a live look as things are getting underway. The moon is slowly starting to creep in front of the sun. Of course, as we go through the rest of the afternoon, we'll approach totality. We're all, of course, looking forward to that.
Yeah, much more of that still ahead as we have a lot of Eclipse Day events happening across the Miami Valley. We're going to take you out to Troy and show you the fun for those that are out and about and also the people choosing to stay in.
We're going to be on live until, they just went into commercial. And they'll be on live until 6:30 tonight. So we're going to just be, but we will be done.
So you guys will get to go after the...
Well, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Well, things are getting underway. We are a few minutes into seeing that partial eclipse. Here's a live look at what it looks like right now. The moon is slowly creeping over. NASA expects complete totality around 3:09 in our area, but this is a look at Mazatlan, Mexico. So as you can see, the moon is further along in front of the sun down there.
Well, there are plenty of places to go where you can view this celestial event here in our area.
Yeah, one location is in Logan County. It's offering a unique perspective up higher than all the Miami Valley. 2 News reporter Allison Gens joins us live from the Mad River Mountain Ski Resort. Allison, what's it like up there?
Hey guys, here at Mad River Mountain, and we're seeing that crowd come out here this afternoon to watch that total solar eclipse, and we're having a lot of fun here. But along with having a lot of fun, this is for a good cause. I'm joined right now by the ski patrol here with Mad River Mountain, Sally and John. Thank you guys for joining me. We're really excited about this. How are you guys feeling about the turnout?
Thank you very much for being here. We are honestly thrilled with the turnout. The weather couldn't have been better for today. The turnout, we didn't know what was going to happen here. We had over 1,200 people RSVP as of midnight last night, and the majority of them are actually here enjoying our eclipse party.
What's it mean to you to see the people who are out here today, and tell me a little bit about how this is benefiting a very good cause, both for you guys and the community?
Well, we are a volunteer organization, and once the tornado occurred in our local community, we thought it was really important to donate back and support, because many families were displaced and many children were displaced. So as a result, we decided to donate part of the proceeds to the tornado relief locally here. And so we're so thankful that everybody did that for us, and we're just thrilled about it.
As far as the rest of this afternoon, what do people have to look forward to? What do you have to say to them for all showed out today?
We definitely want to thank everybody for coming out. At 2:30, we're going to draw our 50-50, which that'll be fun. There will be a big winner here. We're also going to stop the music so we can all appreciate the quietness that the eclipse will bring. And after that, I'm sure there'll be some adult beverages.
Okay, so real quick for both of you guys, so you said it's your first time throwing an eclipse party before, but is it your first time seeing a solar eclipse, or have you seen one before?
I think the last time I saw one was, several years ago, maybe in 2018, and it wasn't nearly the same as what this is going to be. So it got a little bit darker, but I understand this is going to be much more.
This is my first experience, so it's great.
It's my first time to see it too, and I'm really getting excited here. We're going to be checking in live here from Mad River Mountain throughout the afternoon as we get closer to totality and after, sharing the reactions from what's going on here in Logan County. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Allison. They're having a great time up there, it seems like. Well, being out in something like that is not the only way to enjoy the eclipse. Some people are staying in their own cities, and some don't even need to leave their neighborhood to have fun today.
Yeah, Miami County has plenty of options, and we're checking in on 2 of them in Troy. 2 Sports Director Jack Pohl's live at a block party, and 2 News reporter Aaliyah Seabrooks is live in downtown Troy. She's at the Eclipse at the Square celebration. It's a place where families are spending the day together since, of course, school is out for the day. Aaliyah, why did the district choose to shut down?
Good afternoon, Brooke and Michael. I am here in downtown Troy at the public square, and I mean, things are really starting to pick up here. There's a lot of people out with their lawn chairs, getting their spots. The music is going, the food smells amazing, and there are a lot of students here from Troy local schools, because Troy City schools are closed for the day today. They wanted to make sure students had a chance to enjoy this eclipse, and I am here with Troy High School Principal Alexis Diedrich. She is here enjoying the eclipse. And Principal Diedrich, how many people do you think are taking advantage of being out of school today?
I would say pretty much everyone. Already I've seen a lot of our own students down here, many of our staff members, but I also know that even the ones who aren't down here are taking advantage at home. They were very excited about it.
Awesome. And then we know you all had a lot of curriculum this year that always focuses on the eclipse, but you all did some special things this year because students would actually be able to see one in person.
Yeah, so I know at some of the elementaries, my own kids are elementary students, and they did some really cool different projects and even had fun snacks themed for it, but for some of their things. But even at our high school, I mean, our English teacher, Mrs. Riggs, did an excellent poetry unit and also had a lot of the research. And then, of course, our science teachers were kind of geeking out about it. So our students got to do some really cool NASA simulators and things like that for it. So we were just excited to be able to offer the opportunity for students to learn more about it and then be able to experience it as well.
Awesome. And then you also said that you all got a huge donation regarding some eclipse glasses for your students.
Yeah, so we partnered with our Miami County ESC. They're just an excellent partner, and they collected a donation of glasses. So we were able to give free solar eclipse glasses to every single student and staff member in the entire school district.
Awesome. And then, I mean, the weather is beautiful out here today. There's so many people. How many of your students have you seen today?
Oh gosh, I don't know, probably at least 20 to 30 of them. And the fun part is it's with their families. So that's what I like to see, is that it's not just the students out here, but they're with their families. And then, like I said, a lot of my staff members and teachers with their families are here today too.
Awesome. This is a super fun family event here in Troy. We've got local school officials here. We've got so many families celebrating, and we're going to send things back to you all in the studio.
All right, thank you, Aaliyah. Well, some people are making the most of the eclipse at home. One woman's backyard barbecue grew into a block party. Two Sports' Jack Pohl, I don't know how he earned this assignment.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
He's there live for us now. Jack, how's it going?
You know what, Brooke? Brooke, they think I was a natural for this assignment. That is for sure. But, you know, if you're going to have a once-in-a-lifetime event, why not have a once-in-a-lifetime party? How you guys doing? You ready for the eclipse? This is fabulous. Now, they have over 50 people here. Maybe they'll have 100 by the end of the day, so they are certainly partying well. Now, the eclipse fun has already started. Tell us what you saw already.
I've already seen it's starting to turn, and it looks like there's a chunk out of the sun.
Well, there'll be a lot more. See that? Now, see, we hear all these technical terms all week and what it's going to be. Chunk out of sun, that reaches me. That speaks to me. Very good. So we're just getting started with the eclipse. They all have their glasses here, but it goes beyond that. When you look at the fun of an eclipse party, you've got to have the right essentials, such as, take a look at this. We have moon pies, and we have eclipse gum and orbit gum, Milky Way, Midnight, Capri Sun. You get the idea. That's how you do it. And the woman behind all this, Julie, is throwing this party. And Julie, by the way, may I say the food was fantastic. I enjoyed the pulled pork sandwich, but it's really, how fun was it to be going out in the store and trying to keep this eclipse centric?
It was so much fun. My sister, Ann Ames, helped me very much, and it was just a lot of fun.
What's your favorite eclipse? What's your favorite eclipse item?
My Hainer bourbon.
Oh, check this out.
It was bottled in Troy, Ohio. I don't know if they actually brew it in Troy, Ohio, but it says Path of Totality, and it actually lights up. Yeah.
Well, you drink too much of that, that'll lead to some other kind of eclipse. I'll tell you that. That is
open yet, though. It's not open.
Not open yet. Was it easy to get a bunch of people to come out here? I mean, obviously this is a fantastic party.
Yes, I have a lot of out-of-state people that wanted to come, so and my neighbors and friends. So
awesome. Well, we've also got Joey D here behind the camera. We're going to hear from him a little bit later on. The party's going on all day through the eclipse, but for now, live in Troy, I'm Jack Pohl. Let's send it back to you.
You certainly look like you're having the most fun out of everybody so far, Jack.
Okay, Jack, here's the real question. You got the assignment of the day. What's been the best food you've tried so far at the party?
The best food?
Mm-hmm. Best food.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a moon pie guy, but the pork sandwiches, the pulled pork sandwiches were the way they go. They slaved over an open stove all day.
That sounds pretty good. All right, Jack, don't have too much fun out there. We'll see you back in a little bit. Well, another celebration in Montgomery County is well underway. Right now, we're going to turn over to Storm Team 2 meteorologist Cameron Saliga live at the Sunwatch Village Museum. Hey, Cameron.
Blocking the sun, but we are hoping that it does clear in time for the solar eclipse. Still have those high clouds, but beautiful weather here. They also had some... Sorry, I missed... Beautiful day here in the Miami Valley and Sunwatch Indian Village. We are seeing some low clouds in the Miami Valley, but there are minimal here currently. We do have the high clouds, but we are hoping that there is going to be a break as we go through the next couple of hours for totality. And I do have Parker Lynch from the from Boonshaw Museum of Discovery, the planetarium manager. And what do we have going on here today?
Yeah, so we've got a little event out here at Sunwatch. We thought there would be no better place to watch a solar eclipse than Sunwatch, of course. And so we've gathered here with some of our donors and fundraisers, and we're having a really great time out here. So just finished up a nice lunch, and we're doing a couple of educational presentations, and then we're getting ready to watch this eclipse.
And I saw that you were, that a lot of people just got out. What was the presentation that was given inside?
So I did a short presentation on just what is an eclipse, talked a little bit about how the moon, the earth, and the sun all have to be in the right alignment, the different types of eclipses, and then we did a little bit more on the history of eclipses and how they've contributed to physics and astronomy.
And we're going to be continuing here on into totality at right around the 3 o'clock hour here. You know, what's the schedule like for the rest of the day?
Yeah, so the partial eclipse started just a few minutes ago at 1:53, and so we're now watching that shadow of the moon move in front of the sun, and it'll keep getting cover more and more and more, and right there in that last 15 to 30 minutes is when we'll start to see some of those really cool crescents and some of those darker features that we're going to see in the sky later on.
And you were showing us the partial solar eclipse in the telescope there behind me. What's so special, and why do you need a special lens for this eclipse?
So telescopes take the distant light from stars and they make it much brighter by collecting more light. And so the sun, because it's not that far away, if you collect more light from the sun, it's just going to be way too much light for our eyes. So just like you can't look at the sun with your regular eyes, looking at the sun through a telescope without the proper filters can damage your eyes. So definitely want to be careful and make sure you have the right filters on your equipment.
And we were talking before this that we do have, that you've never seen a total solar eclipse. How excited are you?
Oh, I am. I mean, we have such great weather. That's one of the things I'm most thankful for today. And to be here and to be able to do this from right here at Sunwatch is just an incredible opportunity.
Yeah, we're going to be watching this as we go through the next couple of hours. We're having a great time here, and we'll send it back to you live in Sunwatch Indian Village. Meteorologist Cameron Saliga, 2 News.
All right, thank you, Cameron. So many options in the Miami Valley. If you're looking for a low-cost way to experience the eclipse, there are dozens of free events that are happening,
including a party in the parking lot at a local high school. Now, something you hear every day. 2 News reporter Grace Hewitt is live at Bradford High School in Darke County for the All Eyes to the Skies program. Grace, what's in store for students and their families today?
Well, Brooke and Caleb, a lot going on today and a lot of fun. And I've been waiting for months to say this officially. Welcome to the dark side of the moon, where we got a lot going on, like I mentioned earlier, here at Bradford High School in Darke County. As you can see behind me, we got some bouncy houses. We got kids running around. We had some kids perform their own Eclipse song, which was pretty awesome. I wish you guys could have seen that here. And joining me now is Stacy Lehman. She is the mastermind behind this All Eyes to the Skies event. So, Stacy, how are we doing today?
Good. It's a good day. Skies are nice and blue and clear, and everybody's having fun. It's a great day.
And so we're talking about educational benefits. You know, I see some planet signs here. So can you kind of tell me more about that?
Yes, I can. So one of our administration at the school asked for a scale model of the solar system. And so that maps out how far reaching our solar system is, and then also has a scale model as far as the sun is a soccer ball, then the earth may be a grain of salt. So gives you an idea. And then if the kids follow that down the line, they can see that the far reaches of our solar system go off the school property and down to the water tower here in Bradford. So it gives them a visual.
Well, that sounds great. I think I'm gonna have to follow the kids on that one and try to get there. And so this has been, you know, months in advance. So what goes into kind of planning something like this?
Well, we've been meeting for about 3 months now, I think, the school administration and I. We decided we needed to do something. We couldn't let this opportunity pass us by to have a great activity day for the kids, let them have some educational things to learn, and get everybody together to just experience this. So school administration and I met probably 5-6 times over the last 2-3 months and just made it all come together. Lots of different people though have their hand in this, so not just the school and myself.
Absolutely. All right. Well, next time you guys come to us here in Darke County, we're going to be talking to some students to see, why they chose on their day off to come here and experience this eclipse. For now, live in Darke County, we'll send it back to you.
Now, the Miami Valley's certified most accurate forecast with Storm Team 2.
And good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Steve Norris back here in the studio, and we have been on pins and needles here in the weather department the past several days, weeks for that matter. Are we not going to see this eclipse? And thank goodness I woke up this morning and I'm like, yes, Mother Nature came through. Take a look. This is kind of a timeline from our Bryant Heating and Cooling camera. Seen a few of those high thin clouds building in over the last few hours, and then we saw a little period where we saw more in the way of brilliant sunshine, and then even more clouds in the last couple of hours, and even a couple of some mid-level clouds there, but it won't do anything to obscure the sunshine. It might be just a little bit on the hazy side, but that would be about it. And our forecast holding up very well. Look at that. Temperatures in the mid-70s, already in the low to mid-70s around the area. A dry day. That, of course, eclipse began at 1:53, and then that totality at 3:09. We've been talking about that. And then it will come to an end. You'll see the sunshine in all its brilliance once again around 4:25 this afternoon. Live Doppler 2 HD showing dry conditions, and you can see a little bit of that high thin cirrus clouds showing up there on the Doppler radar. I have the satellite and the radar both on it. The satellite radar composite on a little wider scan showing a cold front off to our west, and that is going to impact us as we head into the second half of tomorrow. I think maybe about 3 o'clock or later we'll begin to see some of this Gulf moisture, a lot of it, begin to stream up into the Miami Valley. Right now, look at that. At the International Airport, we're at 73 degrees, partly cloudy skies, winds out of the southwest at 8. The humidity, it's low, it's very comfortable out there all across the Miami Valley. Everybody right now in the low to mid 70s. Here's future track. Note we will see partly cloudy skies all the way through this evening. As we head through the overnight hours, we will begin to see a bit of increase in those clouds. And then starting tomorrow afternoon, I think we'll see some of those showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms start to work their way from the northwest to the southeast across the Miami Valley. So your forecast for tonight, 58 under partly cloudy skies. Clouds increasing late, a dry and mild night, and then tomorrow, 70 for the high under mostly cloudy skies, showers beginning anywhere from mid-afternoon into the evening hours. And you can see the 7-day forecast there. Better chances of rain mid to late week. We'll watch that closely.
All right, thank you, Steve. Giving you a live look here at the roads right now on what authorities say will be a busy day. This is a look at I-75 right now. We're moving along smoothly here in this area. Really no major issues right now as everyone is awaiting totality. But Kelly King's going to have another check of traffic all across the area coming up.
Welcome back. Taking a live look from Mexico right now, where we have almost reached totality. Pretty cool to see here. For us, it's been about 45 minutes since the partial solar eclipse. And so you can see the sun right there, and pretty soon we will see the total solar eclipse, and that anticipation is, of course, building. Beautiful sights outside right now. The roads might be a little bit more crowded today than usual. We are keeping our eye on traffic. Of course, we do expect that traffic volume to build after the eclipse, when many people are heading their way home from those watch parties. Right now, everything is looking pretty good. I'm not tracking any reports of any issues on your major highways or even those surface streets. So if you are heading out at the last minute here to view the total solar eclipse, you're looking pretty good. Now, 2 News reporter Kajasia Hawkins is in the passenger seat of Live Drive 2. Kajasia, where are you right now and what are you seeing?
Well, Kelly, since we last spoke, things haven't really changed much. It's still pretty clear out here right now. Things are moving smoothly. Take a look at the roads. We're on I-75 going northbound near Tip City, and as you can see, there are a decent amount of cars on the roads, but no real backups or delays anywhere. So if you're headed out on I-75 north in this area, you should be good. And AAA has provided tips to drivers ahead of today, stressing the importance of safety, because after the eclipse, traffic will pick up, like you said, Kelly. Some of those tips are to keep your headlights on during the eclipse, keep your visor down, avoid wearing eclipse glasses while operating a vehicle, refrain from taking pictures while driving during the eclipse, don't pull off to the side of the road, the highway, or interstate to view the eclipse. Instead, park in an area away from traffic, and be extra aware of pedestrians who may be looking at the sky instead of your vehicle or the space in front of them. Kara Hitchens, manager of public and government affairs for AAA, said in a release that aside from damaging your eyes, looking at the eclipse while driving is distracted driving, and it's worse. And of course, we will keep you up to date on these traffic conditions if anything changes. Back to you guys.
All right, Kajasia, thank you so much. Still ahead, eclipse preparations for some counties came to a halt when 4 tornadoes ripped through the northern Miami Valley in March. Where in Logan County, you can enjoy the eclipse without disrupting cleanup and recovery efforts. Plus, we've talked about the general public's excitement, but it's an even bigger day for scientists who have dedicated their lives to events like this. An astronomer will join us live to dig into the science behind the 2024 total solar eclipse.
It would be amazing if he stayed.
Yeah. Don't think, although I did see everybody's got a projection, right? And all the draftniks out there have projections. One of the reasons
Welcome back to our 2 News Eclipse special. Right now, we're taking a live look out at Dallas, Texas, as the moon is almost completely over the sun out there. We are, of course, patiently waiting for our turn to see totality here in the Miami Valley. Got about an hour more to go to be able to see that. Well, as the sky darkens, more people are outside catching a glimpse of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
We have 8 live crews at Eclipse events all across the Miami Valley. Right now, we want to check back in with John and Brian live at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force. Hey, guys.
Hey, Brooke. Hey, Caleb.
Hey, Brooke.
This is the place to be at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force. Everybody is here, including the Lieutenant Governor, John Husted, out here today. How you doing, Lieutenant Governor?
I'm doing great. What a wonderful day for this event.
Yeah, Brian, you did all right with this.
I know,
right?
it's perfect. Although we're getting a few cumulus clouds up here, but I'm hoping as we keep seeing the sun disappear, we lose the driving force for those currents and they'll kind of go away.
You work on that.
I will. Well, April 8th in Ohio, this is pretty good.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
April,
it
we'll
could
take
be
it, right?
thunderstorms or overcast, so we'll take this.
You know, you're here, you're the Lieutenant Governor, but you're also a person. I want to tap into the human right now, not the politician, not all that stuff, just the warm and fuzzy, just you. You're not a Lieutenant Governor,
Yeah.
you're just an observer. What do you make of all of this?
So for me, being here and seeing all the families with their kids, just out here having fun, enjoying some time together, that's awesome. If that's what the solar eclipse brings us, is more time with family and friends to connect, then it's already a victory.
You know, this is kind of a Super Bowl for the state of Ohio with so many people coming to this state for this event. How much planning went into this?
Well, I remember back during the pandemic, I had people asking me, hey, what about when the eclipse comes? And I was like, yeah, well, we're kind of getting through this, one thing at a time, right? But this has been a long time coming. And you're seeing all the way. I mean, you see the Ohio from Cincinnati all the way up through Cleveland, that people are coming to Ohio, that Ohioans are sort of making this a celebration. Schools are closed. But right here at the Air Force Base, 11,000 visitors already today. So think about that, what that does. These are people not necessarily from Ohio. They're from Georgia, Alabama, all the way to Canada.
That's a great point.
It's
we were
great
talking to some folks from Illinois, came in from Chicago. They're not just here for a day. They were here yesterday, and they're staying all the way to Wednesday to see things here in the Miami Valley.
Now I got to put my Ohio marketing hat on. We're the
yeah.
heart of it all,
How about it,
right?
Lieutenant Governor?
I got people here, I want them to see the Air Force Base, see all that the Dayton area has to offer. Maybe, they get a next job offer. Like, hey, I was in Dayton. That's a great place to be.
You know, there are some social psychology studies out there that suggest that moments of awe like this just really encourage people to want to work together, right, to be less selfish and perhaps even more agreeable. Perhaps this would be a great day on an agreeable day like this to maybe at the State House or even Washington, D.C., maybe we can get some things done.
Let's not get
Hey,
carried
you
away
weren't
with
going to talk
ourselves.
politics, you said.
One moment at a time, right? But look, this is wonderful. I see little kids out here, and I'm thinking to myself at the same time, maybe they'll start to think about the solar system. They start to think about science. They start to think about maybe this is why I should pay attention in science class, and we get a few more science graduates, which is important for their future and our economy. Look, this is a really cool place. We're kind of the heart of aerospace here in the Dayton area. It's a big deal, and the more that we can sort of educate ourselves on what is going on in the world and in our lives, that's fun. That's a great thing.
How about the prime viewing spot in the state of Ohio being at Wapakoneta fitting?
Yeah,
Neil Armstrong, he kind of has a little bit of a history with the moon.
And he's a Boilermaker, too.
And
They're
there
playing
you
in
go.
a basketball
We knew
game
that Brian
tonight.
would have to get in something about Purdue tonight, right?
It's exactly right. The Neil Armstrong aspect of it's pretty cool. And just, just seeing everybody in Ohio come together, and we bring a lot of visitors. And, a lot of times we talk about being a place where we bring people here, but that's like maybe my team rooting against your team, but now this is kind of everybody together for the same
it's our
same
team.
cause, and kind of makes you feel small in comparison.
Yeah.
And it's once in a lifetime kind of event, and it's happening right here in your own backyard. And we get to welcome family members who maybe came in from around the country. They said, hey, I'm going to go visit my uncle or my cousin in Dayton because I'm going to get to see see the eclipse and get to enjoy some time with family.
Well, it's great.
Let's look at that eclipse. Yes, sir.
It's great of you to stop by and visit with us, Lieutenant Governor. You got your glasses. You need that because we have the partial eclipse happening.
We're getting to about 40% of it right now.
Yeah, you can tell the radiation's dropping and not as warm as it was.
Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy the day with your family, and I appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and let's go enjoy the eclipse.
All right, let's send it back to the studio with Brooke and Caleb.
All right, thanks so much, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah, John, I do have a quick question. You know, we talked to the Air Force ahead of time, the museum, and they said they were expecting nearly 30,000 people. What have the logistics been like in terms of parking? Are people still arriving? How has all of that gone?
You know, I can't tell the difference between 300 and 3 million, so I'm bad when it comes to crowd size. But I can tell you this, Brooke and Caleb, that when we got here, Brian, it was about 9:45, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people here.
Coming in already.
Coming in already. But since then, I mean, we have a lot of people. I mean,
and the food truck lines right now are about 45 minutes to an hour. So I guess that tells you something.
Yeah, if you're not hungry by the time you get in line, you'll be hungry by the end. So there's a lot going on. There's a kids area. We have the Air Force Band up there playing. We're actually going to talk to the lead singer of the Air Force Band coming up at 5 o'clock tonight as well.
Forward to that.
A lot going on right now.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, John. Looks like a great place to be today.
Absolutely. Here's the good news. There's not really a bad place to view the eclipse here in the Miami Valley since we're right in the path of totality. Some of our northern counties will get to experience a maximum eclipse as well. That includes Auglaize and Logan counties. We have reporters live in both. Let's check back in with 2 News reporter Allison Gens as Logan County juggles both a major tourist event and those ongoing tornado recovery efforts. Hey, Allison.
Hey there, we are here with a big crowd that's out here at Mad River Mountain. This area missed the tornadoes that damaged parts of Logan County last month. But if you take a look at the crowd that I have behind me here, you can see it's a true sense of the resiliency in the community with the number of people who are out here this afternoon. So we can take a look now at the damage that was left in the storm's wake. 3 people were killed and several homes, businesses, and power lines were either destroyed or seriously damaged on March 14th. Now, Logan County opened a shelter and held a donation drive the day after to help those who lost everything. The community raised over $50,000 for tornado victims by attending a benefit concert, and several other donations and acts of kindness have helped along the way. The state declared a state of emergency days later, and FEMA began assessments in 11 counties, including Logan, Auglaize, Mercer, Darke, and Miami, at the end of March. Now, shortly after the storm, Logan County officials first asked that people stay away from the Indian Lake area on Eclipse Day, but now some parts of Indian Lake State Park and surrounding businesses are reopened for visitors. Now, the recovery and cleanup efforts are still a top priority right now. That economic boom could help in the process. Now, talking about what's going on right here today, part of the money that was raised during the parking here is going to help the Ski Patrol. That's a volunteer organization at Mad River Mountain, but the other half is going to the United Way of Logan County to help those families rebuild and support them there. And we spoke with the Ski Patrol earlier, and they told me that they're seeing just an outpouring of support from people to help these tornado victims and support their Logan County community. Also, they're selling T-shirts as well. Then you could still purchase those online. Those also go to support the tornado recovery. I'm reporting live here in Logan County. I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Allison, thank you so much. Well, Auglaize County was also hit pretty hard by a tornado last month. Well,
recovery there has come a long way, and now the area is ready for visitors. We have 2 News reporter Sartaj Singh joining us live in Wapakoneta, where one museum is eager to have people come and check it out. Sartaj?
Yeah, you know, the wait is almost over. It's time to put the glasses to use as the eclipse is almost here. Now, I'm here with Logan Rex, the museum curator for the Armstrong Air and Space Museum. Logan, we were talking a little bit beforehand about how the turnout, it keeps growing too, more and more. So how do you feel about this turnout so far?
Yeah, like we said, I mean, we opened our gates around 8 a.m. and our first person in line was there at 1 a.m. So, I mean, people were ready to come in and we're excited. I mean, this is way better than I could have ever dreamed of or expected. So this has been fantastic, great weather. I mean, it's a great day to celebrate space.
Right, and also we were just talking too about, people are also going into the museum, just take a moment to appreciate not only the eclipse, but space itself. So talk about what you offer in the museum today. Anything special due to the eclipse?
Yeah, so obviously we have a lot of new Eclipse merchandise that we have available. If there's anything that we don't have, we have orders for that as well. Just in the museum itself, we have some tours that are going on. COSI is here. They're doing some Eclipse activities. Obviously the DJ's out, but mainly right now the star of the show is literally right above us.
That's right, and we're only a few minutes, I think maybe a little more than half an hour away from seeing the total solar eclipse. Talk to us right now. Is it still too early to get a head count of how many people we have so far here? Is it still too early?
It seems we probably have on verge of 4,000 or 5,000 people, it seems like.
4,000 or 5,000 people, and from all over the world. We're just talking about how I talked to someone from Iowa, and you said you talked to someone from out of the country too, is that correct?
Yes, there was a group from Greece. We had a couple that came from Kent, England. A lot of Michiganders out, so it's glad to see them coming down to Ohio for once, yeah.
And then talk about, right now, as everything keeps going, we have music playing, we have the museum's still open till 7 o'clock, so people can make the day out of this. They can come here, see the eclipse, but also continue their party, honestly.
Yes, like you said, we've had so many families, travelers coming. It's really great to see, and this is what I was actually looking forward to, just seeing everyone coming together, having fun. We look down so often. It's great to see people looking up for once.
And for you personally, what are you looking forward to the most? You just mentioned the families playing and everything like that. Well, when it comes to the eclipse, what are you looking forward to the most?
So this is my first total solar eclipse. So I think, again, just spending it with my family, being able to enjoy this once-in-a-lifetime experience with everyone, the people that I love and care about. So it's a day of coming together. It was just like Apollo 11. Everyone came together for that one moment to look at the moon, and here we are 50-some years later looking up at the moon again.
Exactly. It just comes full circle. It really comes full circle. This is the birthplace of Neil Armstrong, first person to walk on the moon, and now people are looking up again at the moon and everything like that.
Yeah, it's just absolutely, it's hard to put into words, but I'm really thankful that everyone's here, and the weather has been fantastic, so I'm glad that everyone who came out got to see what they were intending to.
Perfect. Thank you, Logan, so much for taking the time to talk with us. And yeah, we have much more. Like I said, we're only minutes a little more than half an hour away from seeing the total solar eclipse. In Wapakoneta, Sartaj Singh, 2 News.
I'm liking the soundtrack out there. Thank you, Sartaj. It also looks like the weather is certainly in our favor today.
Yeah, let's hope it stays that way. It's Ohio for all we know. Steve Norris has a look at our forecast. Steve, what are the chances for a clear eclipse forecast right now? It seems like we're in a good place.
Still looking good. We have high, thin clouds across the area, and we've even had some of those mid-level cumulus clouds in the last hour or so. But overall, I think we're going to be just fine. Take a look at the map. This is where we are right now. You can see the cities in totality at the moment: Dallas, Fort Worth, and then the cities that will be impacted over the next couple of hours or so. You can see Jonesboro, Arkansas, Paducah, Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana, Bloomington, Indy, and then we get into the Miami Valley. There's a totality starting at 3:09, and that will linger until about 3:13, and then of course the eclipse will continue to move up to the northeast over the Cleveland area. Outside right now, you can see the cirrus clouds we have, and even some of those cumulus clouds. Even Brian talked about that just a little bit ago there at the Air Force Museum. Some of those hopefully won't stick around too long. At least you can see part of the total solar eclipse in that 4-minute window that I talked about. But temperature-wise, wow, look at this. We are in the mid and even upper 70s across the area. Huber Heights right now at 78 degrees, Xenia at 77, Centerville 76 degrees, New Lebanon at 73, and we can keep this party going long after the eclipse is over, as look at these evening temperatures in the 70s all the way through 8, 9 o'clock, and lots of sunshine for the most part, so looking pretty good. But I do have some rain in the forecast, and that will start to move back into the Miami Valley late day Tuesday and linger through much of the rest of the week. So we'll talk about that in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Steve. Here's a check of the roads for you here right now. I-75 at the Miami-Montgomery County line. Traffic has been moving along smoothly so far right now. Of course, people are in place getting ready to watch totality, so we're going to be covering it throughout the afternoon, especially when a lot of these events end. We'll have a full report after the break.
Welcome back to our 2 News Eclipse special. Right now we're taking a live look through the path of totality. This is Russellville, Arkansas. You can see that it is almost completely covered there. We're waiting for it here. We're on the final countdown, about 45 minutes more until us in the Miami Valley will be in that path of totality. We can't wait.
All right, well, no matter where you are, a lot of people are traveling to see this eclipse. We want to go to Kelly King for a check of traffic right now here in the Miami Valley. Kelly?
Well, right now, all in all, everything looks good. If you're getting ready to head out somewhere, roads are clear. We're green on the map, which is good news, indicating you are moving at posted speeds or better. It's going to be after the eclipse and after those viewing parties that we're likely going to see that increase in traffic. This is I-75 at Carillon Boulevard, where you can see things are smooth sailing. Caleb, Brooke?
So much, Kelly. Well, Jamie Jurosic had some fun in Troy this morning. She met a traveling star that's entertaining the masses today.
Yeah, check out her run with a llama.
And he has a special trick, doesn't he?
Oh, he does all sorts of things. You want to see what the trick is?
Yeah, I do.
Sugar.
Oh, gosh.
Sugar.
Oh, my gosh. Aw, thank you.
Sure if Jamie loved that one, but you can get a kiss from Miss Llama today at the Troy's Eclipse at the Square Party until 3 p.m. today, so you'll want to find him very soon. Would you let a llama kiss you?
I mean, let's be honest. If we're not taking a picture of it, if it's not for the photo op, I'm not doing it. But I do like the hat and the glasses.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cute.
Are llamas the ones that spit?
Yes.
Okay, so she got lucky then
Yeah.
because it could have gone worse. But that one, they look, because we all love Jamie.
Yeah. Camel spit
Camel
is
spit.
what we're told.
Okay,
And-
llamas don't spit. Well,
at your own risk, though.
at your own risk. Well, school districts in Darke County also, they canceled classes for the day, but some students in one local high school, they still showed up and showed out.
Bradford Exempted Village Schools and the Bradford Public Library are hosting a free family-friendly event at the high school right now, and 2 News reporter Grace Hewitt is there for us. All Eyes to the Sky celebration. Grace, how's the program going?
Hey guys, well, I'm gonna have to say it every time because I just, I can't help myself. Welcome back to the dark side of the moon here. And so they're wrapping up activities behind us as we're getting ready for that totality. And right now I'm joined by 2 students, Aubrey and Caitlin, that are students here at Bradford. So, no school for you guys today, which awesome, it has to be awesome. So why did you decide to come out and see the eclipse?
Because I've never seen one before and I thought it'd be really cool to experience it and stuff. Same with me, I've never seen one before.
And so what are you guys most excited about? This has been something that's like months in advance, so what are you guys kind of excited about?
To see the whole eclipse and yeah, just to see how the moon covers the full sun.
And so far, how are you guys enjoying the event? I think we've had a lot of fun, dancing around and things like that.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it a bunch. I made a bracelet. I also made a bracelet with her.
You know what? I also have a bracelet too, so I think we just became best friends, honestly. So what are you guys, have you guys learned anything about this eclipse so far?
The word totality, because I didn't know what that meant before.
Do you know the definition right now?
Yes, it means when the moon covers the sun fully. It's the whole thing.
All right, what about you?
So that's the exact same I learned.
Absolutely. And so have you guys gonna go back to school tomorrow? You guys gonna be talking about this with your friends?
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna be like, I was on the news.
Well, is there anything else you guys wanna add?
I want to give a shout out to my grandpa, John, because he's watching right now, and I just want to say that I love you. Hi, Grandpa.
All right, well, there you have it. And like I said before, we're coming up on that totality here just in a minute. It's getting a little dark out here. People are getting gathered around, getting those glasses on. Make sure you're putting those glasses on, not looking at the sun directly. But for now, live in Bradford, Grace Hewitt, 2 News.
All right, Grace, thank you so much. Well, a lot of eclipse enthusiasts left earlier or even spent the weekend in the Miami Valley to try and beat that traffic.
And one of today's hotspots is Troy, and the city's been preparing for this for months. 2 News reporter Aaliyah Seabrooks is live in downtown Troy to show us how residents are celebrating there. Aaliyah?
Good afternoon, Brooke and Caleb. We are here in Troy on the public square. As you can see, it is really filling up now. There are quite a few people out here in their lawn chairs, standing in line to get food. They're all getting ready for the total eclipse that is going to be happening in a few minutes. But before that happens, we want to talk to Miss Janice Hernandez. This is not her first time seeing an eclipse. Janice, when was your first time seeing a total eclipse?
I went with my mom and my sister in 2017 to Idaho to watch the total solar eclipse.
Awesome. And then we're in Troy right now, but you said you're not from Troy. Where are you from?
My family and I are from Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
So what made you choose to come to Troy to watch the eclipse?
We were looking for the best places to come, and we saw the pictures and we saw how nice it is and how the weather was going to be. So yes, we decided on Troy.
I mean, and then looking around here with all these people, is this the turnout you were expecting?
Actually, it's way better. I thought we came here really early, so there were not a lot of people. We only saw the llama. so yeah, when the crowd began to build up, yeah, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to get a lot more exciting, like you said, with the festivities.
Yes, the music. Yes.
Awesome. So can you talk a little bit just about how you're seeing the things change right now? Is it bringing back any memories from when you went in 2017?
Yes. 2017 was the first time that we watched the eclipse. And yeah, it's the atmosphere. It's different when it begins to be the moon begins to
move and get in front of it. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I mean, for someone this isn't their first rodeo for the eclipse, do you have any advice for people getting ready to watch the eclipse in a few minutes here?
Yes, especially certified eclipse glasses. They are ISO. You have to make sure because you have to guard your vision. That's very, very important. I've been posting that on social media because, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very important announcement for people to wear those proper viewing glasses when you're watching the eclipse and looking up at the sun here. And then lastly for you, I mean, you're not here by yourself. Who made the trip with you today?
My dad, my mom, my sister, and our puppy Chloe, our long-haired Chihuahua.
Awesome. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your shirt that you have?
Yes, well, my mom bought it on Amazon.
Awesome. Yeah, you look amazing. So as you can see, we're having a great time here in Troy. It's starting to get a little dark. You can feel the weather changing a bit, and we are so excited for this total eclipse here at the public square in downtown Troy. This is Aaliyah Seabrooks, and I'm sending things back to you all in the studio.
All right, thanks, Aaliyah. And we've been talking about it. There's so much to learn about the eclipse as well.
Yeah, let's turn it over to Storm Team 2 meteorologist Cameron Saliga at Sunwatch Village, where astronomers are giving presentations. Cameron?
Yeah, out here on Sunwatch Indian Village, we are seeing the total solar eclipse make its way here into the Miami Valley. And as you can see behind me, there are people that are waiting to look in the telescope to see the partial solar eclipse that's currently going on. But it is also getting dark here, and when also it is getting dark, it's also getting cooler. That is something that is also pronounced here as we go into the afternoon, as totality starts to set in. But they are rare here, as the last one that we saw here was over 100 years ago. And we're not going to see another one in Ohio until 2099. I'm not great at math, but I'll be 103. So it's really just once in a lifetime event, and that is when the moon passes the sun and it casts a shadow on the earth. And that's why it's so rare, is because the shadow that actually is pictured on the earth is actually just a small representation of what the solar eclipse does go through. So only around 1-2% of the earth gets covered by the total solar eclipse. So that is why it is so rare. And as we go through the next couple of minutes here before totality, you do want to have those sunglasses on, those special solar glasses, because you will get eye damage if you do not and you do look at the sun. But it is getting pronounced dark here, and we are starting to see that begin near totality here at Sunwatch Indian Village. So as it does hit totality, you could actually take those glasses off. But now as that sun moves away and we start to see the totality come to an end, that's when you want to put those sunglasses back on, and then you can look at it safely. If you're not, you could get damage to your retinas. But also, I'm also most excited because I've never actually seen a total solar eclipse. I did see a partial solar eclipse there in 2017, but this year it's the first time I've actually ever seen a total solar eclipse. So we're excited here at Sunwatch Indian Village. We're going to send it back to you in the studio live in Montgomery County. Meteorologist Cameron Saliga, 2 News.
Now the Miami Valley's certified most accurate forecast with Storm Team 2.
Well, we will see that total eclipse totality in just 14 minutes from now. And I've been running back and forth from the studio out to the 2 News patio. It looks amazing, just a little sliver of the sun remaining. And thank goodness Mother Nature has cooperated. We've seen some of those high clouds, but it has done nothing to obscure the sun out there, just maybe putting on a little hazy look. But that's about it. You can see from our camera there in Middletown, Land of Illusion. If you look at the gazebo there, you will note as we take you through this time lapse, we never lose the shadow casted by that gazebo, meaning the sun has never gone behind the clouds at all. We do have a few cumulus clouds out there at the moment, but that's about it. Here's a look at the path of totality. Of course, we've seen totality around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, now moving up into Arkansas, and of course, so lucky here in the Miami Valley, moving right across our area and then up around the Cleveland area and then on up into Maine, and that will all take place within the next hour or so. Here's a look at the satellite over the last 3 hours, and we had lots of sunshine this morning, and then some of those cirrus clouds building in. Still have some of the cirrus clouds, but also some of those mid-level cumulus clouds, but they're very scattered at the moment, so that's good news. We're watching a cold front out to the west. That will be our next weather maker. That is going to move into our area as we get into late day and tomorrow evening, and there's a lot of moisture from the Gulf to work with, streaming up from the south to the north. So we'll see some showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms by Tuesday evening, it looks like right now. But boy, what a day, temperature-wise, 73 degrees. I think we'll easily make it into the mid-70s, some areas even in the upper 70s right now, and just a light breeze out of the southwest at 8 to 14 miles per hour. Temperature-wise, over the next 12 hours, only slowly dropping through the 70s into the 60s as we head through the evening hours. As I mentioned a little earlier, we can keep the party going after the eclipse because it is so nice outdoors. Here's Future Track. We'll take you through the evening hours. Skies partly cloudy, and then after midnight, we'll begin to see a general increase in clouds. Here we are tomorrow afternoon. I think we'll be fine until maybe 3, 4, 5 o'clock, and we'll begin to see some showers and maybe even a couple of thunderstorms start to move into the Miami Valley. A better chance of rain as we head into Wednesday night and Thursday. Showers and storms look certain at that point. So tonight, dropping down to just 58 degrees, very mild, partly cloudy with those clouds increasing after midnight, and it will be dry tonight. 70 tomorrow, mostly cloudy, showers starting to develop mid to late afternoon and lingering into the evening. And here's a look at that 7-day forecast. And as we look into Wednesday night and into Thursday, showers and storms look quite likely, and we'll still see some rain wrapping around there on Friday, but right now the weekend looks pretty nice.
All right, thank you, Steve. Well, the sky is slowly getting darker, giving you a live look at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force, where we will check in with John and Brian here in just a few minutes. Also, this is the current view in the Miami Valley. We are minutes away, from totality around 3:09, so we're getting there, and we'll be right back after the break. Welcome back. Here is another look at NASA's live satellite image of the eclipse.
Ooh.
We are about, what do we have now? 4 minutes, 5 minutes
give
away?
or take.
Yeah, we're going to look at how much the moon is covering the sun now, and soon the Miami Valley will be dark. That's going to start around 3:09 for us here and last about 4 minutes.
All the Miami Valleys in that path of totality will experience that eclipse in just a few minutes, including those with their eyes to the sky. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. We see Brian already has his eyes to the sky. John has his eyes up there too. Look, we're on the final countdown, guys. How's the energy out there? How are things going?
Thumbnail. Yep. All right, we're on. Looks like we're down to a thumbnail right now.
We on the air?
Yeah.
I don't hear anything.
That's what they're
right now.
telling me. We're on the air, and look at that.
Well, I tell you what, we have everything we need at this point. We have our glasses on and the moon pies. Got to have the moon pies. I don't know why I'm looking at you when I look
already.
I can't see you when I look this way.
Yeah, so it's really impressive. Rapidly disappearing the sun.
So we're just a few minutes away, Brian, and we're already starting to feel that temperature start to dip.
You know, even with a partial eclipse, you get about a 3 to 5 degree temperature drop. And then when you're going total, especially if it's a dry air mass, which is pretty dry today, we could see up to a 10-degree drop from that. And the winds are starting to back off now.
Really starting to feel that.
Have you seen any birds? I've seen no birds in the air. They say they roost when this starts to happen, so I think that's going on right now.
Boy, and you really, cloud just kind of went between us and the sun right now.
Yeah,
So
come
now,
on, cloud, get
so
out
now
of here.
people are looking up there. But it's very interesting. You're talking about the birds go to roost. Insects that fly during the daytime, they will land for this time. A lot of science going on right now. And a lot of people who study the sun, Brian, during this time, this is a heyday. This is like a Super Bowl for them because if you go back a couple of years or 7 years to the 2017 eclipse back then, it was just partial here. But even in totality then, that was when the solar cycle, there's a cycle of the sun. Right now, this is considered a solar maximum. So there have been a lot of solar flares, a lot of solar activity
sunspots
of late. So
up.
this is giving scientists a great opportunity to study the corona, which is something that you can see with your glasses on, but this is not as much activity. There was not as much activity in 2017, so this is just like a Super Bowl for those who study the sun.
And when we do get to totality, you will be able to look at the sun without the glasses, and we should be able to see that corona. At least that's what we're hoping for. Realize, though, your eyes are going to dilate, and then when that sun comes back, it's going to be blinding, so make sure you're ready for that to take place. You know, I was fishing up in Hubbard Lake in the 2017 eclipse, and that was only about a 75% eclipse up there, but the walleye bite, it was amazing, turned on in the middle of the afternoon. We were fishing, and usually you don't fish for walleye either morning or late in the day. They were biting in the afternoon until the sun came back out, and then we didn't catch any more fish till evening.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be getting food for days here in just a couple of minutes. And from time to time, I got to put these on to look up here because as much as we want to talk about it, we want to experience it as well. As we just have the most slim of portions of the top of the sun. We are now just moments away from totality being experienced here.
It's like my little toenail right now is what it looks like.
Now, again, and a reminder, once we do get that totality, you can look up at the sun at this totally amazing phenomenon that only happens here, nowhere else in the solar system. Now, just to kind of give you the grand scope of things, I mean, Neptune is, 2.8, 2.7 billion miles away from the sun. Pluto's another billion miles away. And of all the moons and all the planets in the solar system, it can only happen here on Earth. No other eclipse exists in the solar system like this. It's because the moon is of the perfect size, and it is the perfect distance, about 250,000 miles away. The sun's about 93 million miles away. So all that lines up perfectly so we can see this celestial event that does not exist anywhere in our solar system.
That's right. And every year, the moon moves away about 2 inches. And in about 500 million to 600 million years, we won't have any more total eclipses. So you want to make sure you see this one.
I don't think we'll have to worry about that one, Brian.
I don't think so either.
You know, the next one, the next total eclipse in Ohio will be in 2099.
Wow. It's really, look at how everything's changing here. I mean, you could just see the shadow almost coming in.
Yeah, it is dark. What was amazing up until this point, even with the eclipse that we saw of the 20%, 40%, 50%, 80%, it was still very bright. And if you kind of looked up to the side, you saw that glare of the sun. It was still very bright, but all of a sudden, it is becoming
yeah,
very,
we're looking
very
off to the
dark out here.
southwest, and it's you can just see it getting dark. It's just about here.
And right now, how fitting is this? As we get closer and closer to totality, right now, we don't have a cloud in the sky as we look up here at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force. We're going to send it back to the studio with Brooke and Caleb.
All right, it's about 3:08:28. Thank you, John and Brian. Take a look there at the bottom right corner of your screen.
Yeah, we are just about in a total solar eclipse. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Now, scientists say it's only going to last a few minutes, but you can see it from anywhere in the Miami Valley. Take a look at this. This is in Indianapolis. This is just in our path to totality. What we're seeing outside, I mean, Brian and John were pretty hyped up to see that. That's why they said come back to the studio, because they wanted to go and look up at the sky.
And even as you were watching them, I mean, they were talking about how it was getting a little bit darker out there.
Yep, there it is. Look at that.
Yeah, as it was happening. And then our group here in the building, as Steve was walking outside, there they are on the patio right now taking a look. They said it felt cooler out there too. So the temperature dropping just a little bit, obviously, as the sun is being covered. So here we are.
And this is a live look here in the Miami Valley.
We're now at 3:09, yeah.
Yeah, we're just about there. And you know, everybody's looking up right now. Make sure you're still wearing your glasses, but once it does complete totality, you can take your glasses off. That's when you can start taking the pictures, capture the moment. I saw somewhere online they were saying, obviously take pictures of the sun, of the sky. There it is.
Ooh, look at that.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That's amazing. But make sure to take pictures of everything going on around you too, because of course you want to remember this one, but you also want to remember the people that you're with, that you're going to be able to keep it with.
Yeah, we're going to go to Sartaj Singh. He's in Wapakoneta for us. How's it looking out there, Sartaj?
Certainly feels like it with the eclipse. Now we just watched it. You can hear everyone cheering around me about seeing the total eclipse. And honestly, I had my glasses on, and I have to say, it was a very amazing experience. Now, going to go ahead and look around me right here, and pretty much everyone is just looking up into the sky in unison. This really looks like a community event, you know, no matter where you're from, what state, what country, everyone's here just to look up at the eclipse, and I think that's really special. That is very, very special. And once again, it's really dark out here too. I kind of was not expecting it to be that dark. As you see up there at the Armstrong Air and Space Museum, it's lit purple right now, and really it's just a beautiful sight to be around here. And it's really, really nice. And giving you a live look at looking up into the sky right now, yep, that's the eclipse indeed. And just everyone around here. I'm seeing a lot of smiles around here too. People are smiling. They're really happy with what they're seeing right now. And everyone's like giving high fives, hugging each other and everything like that. This is a pretty good atmosphere happening right now. And like I said, this is a very special experience. I kind of did not expect it personally to be this dark. So it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. But still, it's very, very great. What an experience really to be here. And you know, if you saw the eclipse, you really just experienced an exclusive thing right there. So it's very, very nice, and it's still going to be dark. I think my internal clock is going to be thinking it's nighttime right now, but it's still going to be morning. The sun's going to be out in just a few moments. So yeah, I want to send it back to you guys. I'm here in Wapakoneta. Sartaj Singh, 2 News.
All right, Sartaj, it's not quite bedtime yet. I know it looks like it, but it's not quite the time yet.
Yeah, we want to go to Grace Hewitt. She is in Darke County for us here tonight, and she's also experiencing that eclipse right now. Grace?
Hey guys, yeah, it is just awesome. I honestly have no words. I'm kind of speechless right now. We are in totality here in Darke County, and you know what better way to be in totality and join me right now, the real Renaissance man, Galileo himself. I hope everyone's jealous at home right now because this is awesome. So, you know, we're in totality right now, and you know, you're a real Renaissance man, astronomer. So what's that like?
This is amazing. If you look up at the sun, you see the cornea, which is the hottest part of the sun. We normally can't see that during the day, but now you can see that. As the helium is escaping the sun, you can see it, and it's one of the most beautiful sights there is.
And so what do you want kids to know about the eclipse? I mean, a lot of kids here are freaking out. They're loving this. So what do you want them to know?
That this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The next eclipse that we have in this part of Ohio will be in 2099, and it's just amazing. But they got to be careful. They can't look at the sun without their glasses. Now that the totality is over, we want to make sure that we're looking at it safely.
And you know, that sun, it's coming out very fast right now. So, you know, back in your day, the telescope and everything like that. So, you know, how has this evolved?
Well, the telescopes that we got now are just so much better. We've actually had telescopes that go in the sky. My telescope could not do that. So it's just great, the advances that science has had since I was born 460 years ago.
Absolutely. And so what else do you want kids to know about this awesome day? They're going to go home, tell their friends, family, I saw an eclipse and things like that.
Hopefully this will get them interested in science, and maybe they can study science, because science has so much more that we can learn from.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we are wrapping up here, and the sun is coming back out now. So for now, I will send it right back to you guys. And also, I'm going to put this on my resume that I got to interview Galileo. So live in Bradford, Grace Hewitt, 2 News.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Grace, definitely write that down. But as she said, I mean, it is a speechless moment. It's truly once in a lifetime, and it's hard to put into words just how amazing it is to look up at the sky and see that.
Now, some people here in our area even took a little mini vacation to Mad River Mountain to view the eclipse.
Yep, 2 News reporter Allison Gens is there right now. Allison, you're kind of coming out of it right now. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, hey there. Seeing that totality, honestly, it's hard to put into words, experiencing that moment. Everybody here, all eyes were on the sky, those eclipse glasses on up until that very moment. And then as soon as it went dark here at Mad River Mountain, there were cheers erupting from the crowd. So much excitement and wonder about what is going on up in the sky. Now, those eclipse glasses are back on. People are watching as the sun is starting to come back out again, but it just looks and feels so different out here after experiencing this event. Now, I spoke with some members of the crowd. They're hoping to get down there and talk to them now that they've witnessed what has happened and talk about their experience. But beforehand, they were saying that they have never seen a total solar eclipse before. Spoke with a family that traveled from Columbus as well as Virginia into Mad River Mountain to watch this here. And just hearing the excitement and the buzz has just made it all worth it to be out here this afternoon. Now, we will continue to check in with the people who are here enjoying the eclipse, experiencing that totality, this once-in-a-lifetime event, and hear from their experience about what they think was the best part. Now, I will send it back over to you guys.
Allison, we should also mention the city of Troy. They prepared for a pretty busy day. All that planning paid off. Here's a live look at the eclipse at the Square celebration in downtown Troy, the aftermath of the eclipse. I should say it's looking like people are starting to slowly disperse. Of course, you know, those roads may get a little hectic, but right now we're going to check in with 2 News reporter Aaliyah Seabrooks live there now. Aaliyah, what was totality like in Troy? What's happening right now?
Brooke and Caleb, totality was absolutely incredible here. The vibes were incredible. The people cheered. In that moment when the moon finally went right in front of the sun, you could hear the applause erupting from so many people being excited for the moment, the anticipation leading up to the day, and the moment when you could take off your eclipse glasses. That's what people were really excited about. They could take off their eclipse glasses and see that beautiful ring in the sky. I saw it myself, and I must say, it was a wonderful experience to get to see, and who knows if I'll ever be able to see that again in my life, so I'm so glad I was able to do it today here in downtown Troy. The festivities are not over, though. There are still live music, there's still games, there's still so much for families to do. You know, there are so many people who took off work today, and Troy City schools were out of school today. So many of those students here in downtown just taking in the day and taking in the event. We also spoke earlier with Troy High School principal Alexis Diedrich, and she told us that Troy schools did give out eclipse glasses to all of their students, and that a lot of them them were here today to take in the eclipse for themselves. So we were so excited to be out here with those students and all of the other people in Troy. We also spoke with a woman who came from Minnesota. This is her second eclipse. She watched the one in 2017 in Idaho, and she said she came from Minneapolis, Minnesota to come here to Troy because of how beautiful it was. She has no connections to the Ohio area, but she said Troy was so beautiful that she decided this is where she wanted to watch today's eclipse. So again, such an exciting moment. Right when the moon got in front of the sun, we saw a perfect ring here. You could tell the people were excited when it happened. Like I said, the applause was just incredible. And like you said, Caleb, the moment after it happened, you could already sort of see people getting on their way and gathering their things and picking up their chairs because, as you all know, we have been talking about the traffic after the eclipse, how that could be an issue. So people in Troy are definitely going to try and get a jump on that and get out of here after seeing such an incredible eclipse. So again, nothing but beautiful words to say here from downtown Troy. We're going to keep the party going. I think Party Punch is going to get another song going for us here so we can keep on rocking today on this beautiful eclipse day. We're going to send things back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you so much, Aaliyah. She also mentioned traffic, giving you a live look here from Live Drive 2. Man, the roads are completely clear right now, but I think that's probably expected given most people were pretty stationary at the events, at those watch parties, and the eclipse, the totality just ended minutes ago. But we're going to keep an eye on this because, as Aaliyah pointed out, a lot of people are just now leaving those watch parties, and here in the next several minutes and maybe even the next couple of hours, I'm sure that these roads are really going to start to become crowded.
Yeah, absolutely. But of course, we checked in on a handful of different locations where we had 2 news reporters out and about at those eclipse parties to see totality. But one party in Montgomery County, they offered a unique itinerary with a pretty high price tag.
So was it worth it? Let's go to meteorologist Cameron Saliga. He's live at Sunwatch Village where people paid $500 for science and luxury. How's it going there, Cameron?
Yeah, they spent $500, and it was a really intimate event. So there was right around 100 people or less, and we were going to speak to one of them here. So we have, or both of them here actually. We have Aliana and Everly. Where'd you guys come from? I heard you guys came from pretty far away.
Yeah, we came from Youngstown. Yeah.
And why'd you come all the way down here to see the solar eclipse?
Well, we thought it was really cool to see it because we've never seen anything like this before. Yeah, and we really love space.
And tell me about your love for space. Why is it so important to see this in person?
Well, it's when the moon is blocking the sun, and not a lot of places get to see it, so it's really cool.
And do you know when the next one is?
What?
It's in 2099 here in Ohio, so it really is once in a lifetime. How about you? What thoughts what kind of thoughts do you have about the solar eclipse that you just saw?
It's like amazing, and I love to see how it changes. It's so cool.
And when it got dark out, did it get cooler as well?
Yes, it got really cool.
And tell me what it feels like to see, the sun in the sky, but also very dark skies or very dark conditions outside.
It feels very weird, but really cool.
How about you?
It's really cool, and yeah.
And are you guys both looking to be future scientists?
Actually, I'm looking to be a singer.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And you said that you like space. Are you looking to get into science?
Maybe I'm not sure yet.
And how would this event maybe impact your choice for your future?
I don't really know.
So, you guys are from West Virginia, I take it, right?
Yeah. She's actually from Cincinnati. She's my cousin, and she just came in to see us, and she came to my dance. And then we went to Youngstown and came here. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for doing the interview and having a great time here. And we're going to send it back to the anchor desk live in Sunwatch Indian Village. Meteorologist Cameron Saliga, 2 News.
All right, thanks, Cameron. Here is a live look out at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base after totality. People gathered here to see the solar eclipse, including John and Brian. We were chuckling in here because they were pretty amped up about it, looking towards the sky.
Yeah, they've been out there for us live all night. Now that the eclipse is in the books here for 2024, what was the atmosphere like at Wright-Pat? What was it like seeing it in person for both of you?
You know what, Brian, we do a lot of news stories, a lot of weather stories. We've been through college. We did a lot of vocabulary tests. We know a few words. All I could think of right now was, that was so cool.
Awesome. That's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
I guess I thought it would be darker. I was under the impression it'd be even darker. It was more like a late twilight as you're getting maybe 40 minutes past sunset. And what was really wild, which I don't know how you could see this unless you were actually here, was watching the shadow come in from the southwest. It was almost like a thunderstorm was coming in. You could see the sky darkening, and then all of a sudden that was it. We were in it, and we noticed, John and I maybe there's somebody out there that can answer this. There was like a red dot on the bottom of the disc. It almost looked like a laser or something was shining from up there. So we were trying to figure out what it was. We think it was something to do with the sun itself. Yeah, the solar activity.
And then you could see Venus was so prominent
it really
in the sky.
Showed up great.
And a number of other stars as well. You know, I've heard social psychologists talking about this moment of awe. And not just necessarily with eclipses, but with the moments of like childbirth or just incredible moments, and they do include eclipses at that as well. That was a moment of awe. I mean, we've all been planning for it. Listen, we all knew this is going to happen for quite a while. But to explain that moment as we were all in this area with thousands of people all looking up and seeing something that, Brian, you and I will never see again. Nope. Unless we travel somewhere else, because you and I are not going to be here in 2099.
Not here, 2099, unless there's a miracle.
I don't know how to quite explain it other than that was just an awe-filled moment.
I
Seeing
agree.
That corona.
The corona was really impressive, and it was so bright also around the disk of the moon.
You know, the totality creates a path. It's about 100 miles wide, and interestingly, on this day, earlier this afternoon, not that long ago actually, there were two planes that took off from Texas. One from Austin, Texas, another one from Dallas-Fort Worth, and they're flying the path of totality all the way to Detroit. Now, it was pricey. The first flight, which was flying out of Austin, sold out in less than 24 hours. Main cabin seats, over $700 one way. First class, over $1,100 one way. That sold out so fast.
So you had to fly there. You had to fly there.
Then you come back.
Go get your one-way ticket to wherever and fly back from there, too.
I can't wait to hear the stories of those people, just what it was like, because imagine being 35,000 feet up in the air and looking down, and you're seeing this shadow, which is about 100 miles wide, just creating this path all the way up north and east. There's just I see that, Brian, and I think of that flight because we got to experience that for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That was the path of totality, the time of totality here. I would love to be able to experience that longer. I'm curious what those people on that flight are going to have.
You know, depending on the size of the lunar disk over the sun, I think it can be like 7-8 minutes long for totality, and that would be really something to see. And we were kind of on the southeastern edge of it, so you could see a lot more light off to our left, which is looking toward the southeast. And I'm sure folks that were under the core of the path, the center of the path, they probably did see a lot more darkness than what we had here.
You know what? This has been so great. We ought to do this again next year.
I think we should talk to the heavens and see if we can re-cue the moon over the sun.
I'm also very jealous of our neighbors to the south in Kentucky, especially in the Paducah area, because they experienced totality in 2017.
Yeah, we say once in a lifetime, and for them it's twice in a decade.
Every 7 years. Imagine those kids there. Yeah, we see one of these things every few years.
Done that.
Yeah, this is amazing. And now you can start to feel the weather, Brian. We were talking about this on the other side of the eclipses, to what we could expect once we had that totality. We felt the winds calm down, but as soon as totality ended and we started to see, and now we're still talking about 70% of the sun, if not more, is blocked right now. We're starting to feel that wind pick up.
I can tell you right now, yeah, we're probably still about 80% coverage, 70-80% coverage. The other thing I was worried about was the cumulus field that started to form up around here. That's created with vertical currents from the ground heating up, and I kept my fingers crossed that once we started losing the solar radiation, those clouds would dissipate, and they did for the most part. There were just a couple of scattered dissipating cumulus clouds around. Right now it's pretty much sunny.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because through all of this build up to the eclipse, you learn so much. You can't help, right, because of so much attention being paid to it. But Bill Nye, the science guy, taught me a word the other day that I'd never heard of. It is syzygy.
Quit calling me a sissy.
Syzygy, that is when the sun, the moon, and the earth are all aligned together.
All right, they're in a line, huh? Linear.
That was just tremendous. So, you know, people are still here at the museum. They're starting to leave. The food trucks are still in service. It was really interesting. Just off to our right, just before totality, we had a few hot air balloons. They then inflated, so you had the lights, so that was kind of impressive as well. Yep. So the total eclipse is over, Brooke and Caleb, but the party is still continuing out here at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force.
Yeah, we sure it is. Hey, Ryan and John, quick question for you. That moment when we hit totality, what was the reaction like from everyone there? There are a ton of people out there today. I'm sure there were cheers. What was that moment like? Walk us through that.
That's exactly what it was. Everybody started cheering. They started cheering, I would say, maybe a minute before the eclipse, because you could see it was just about there. They started cheering from that, then a lot of oohs and ahs, and then
you heard a lot of woos.
Yeah, and then as it ended, then it was like, yeah! You know, it's sort of like after the 4th of July fireworks, after you get the big show at the end.
You know what, I would say, Brian, and I've been to a number of those out at Kettering at Delco Park, and that's an amazing show. This was times a million. To that awe feeling, literally, you're looking up, all of us where the glasses could come off safely during totality, and everybody here, again, thousands looking up all together, experiencing that. There really almost are no words just to expense that.
You just have to experience
that sense of community and awe that we had at that moment. It was incredible.
Yeah, my next question is, you know, with the amount of people they were expecting there at the Air Force Museum, now that we're past this amazing moment that everybody got to experience, do you feel like people are heading out and hitting the roads? Because now we're looking at the back end of this at traffic and issues like that out there. So we're just wondering, you know, is everybody heading out or is the party still going?
Well, what I saw, there were some people just maybe 30 yards from us. The minute totality ended, they grabbed their sleeping bags. They were up. We're out of here. We saw what we wanted to see. Other folks are hanging around still now, just gradually meandering back toward their cars. And I think some folks are ready to party for another hour or two.
Yeah, I think that it depends on whether or not what their family schedule is the rest of the day. If they got to get the kids to a game or some recital or something like that, they might be hitting the road to get in that long line, no doubt, that it's going to take to get out of here, because it's just one way out of here. So it's going to take them a while. But there are still a number of people here. They got their chairs set up. They're just sitting here enjoying it as a family, still hitting the food trucks because they're going to be serving people here for a while. So, yeah, some people, they bolted, but others are going to be hanging around for a while.
They sure are. And it's about time to get the sunglasses back on.
Yeah, need to wear those again.
All right, thanks so much, guys. We'll check back in with you in just a little bit. Right now, we want to get over to Kelly for a check of traffic. Look, it's over. How are the roads looking right now, Kelly?
Well, first of all, Caleb, I got to see that moment of totality from our 2 News patio here, and it was really incredible. But now I am keeping my eye on traffic and what it's going to look like for your evening commute. Right now, we are all green, all clear out there, but we do expect those highways to get a lot busier as people are leaving those viewing parties. You can see 75 is looking good for the most part. No reports of any issues. I want to show you here from our ODOT cameras. I-75 at State Route 73 in Springboro, 75 at the Miami-Montgomery County line in Tip City and Vandalia, 70 at 201 at Huber Heights, and 675 at Colonel Glenn Highway in Fairborn, right by Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So those highways we expect to get a lot busier. 2 News reporter Kajasia Hawkins has been riding passenger seats in Live Drive 2. Kajasia, where are you right now and what are you seeing?
Well, Kelly, right now things are moving smoothly, and that's been the theme for the entire day. Let me give you a look from Live Drive. We're on I-75 going southbound in Dayton, and things are clear. Not too many cars out here, but With people on the roads traveling home from the eclipse soon, officials say be prepared to wait. ODOT and cities around Ohio have been planning for the influx of people for the eclipse for months. The state of Ohio anticipating upwards of 500,000 visitors, and Governor Mike DeWine ordered all local entities in the state to establish a safety plan for the influx in tourists, including traffic safety. Riverside and Vandalia both declared states of emergencies ahead of today because of how many people they are expecting to see. The city of Dayton has also put in extra reinforcements in anticipation for the big day. The city is expecting thousands of visitors, and they have more law enforcement and fire safety crews on the ground ready to help. And they've even moved regular city services like trash pickup to holiday scheduling. Ohio State Highway Patrol and the Ohio Department of Transportation shared tips ahead of the eclipse, and they say to plan, prepare, and to be patient ahead of the event, and of course to expect delays. And right now we are not seeing any of those delays, but we are expecting them a little bit later as people head home. Back to you, Kelly.
All right, thanks, Kajaja. And of course, be careful if you are on the roads because we expect that traffic to pick up as the night progresses.
Yeah, we had a beautiful day for this eclipse. Hopefully it stays that way as people make the trip home, making that a little easier on drivers. Let's go to Storm Team 2 meteorologist Steve Norris. He has an updated check of the forecast. Steve?
Yeah, it continues to look very nice out there. No problems whatsoever as we head through the afternoon and the evening hours. In fact, still a lot of sunshine across the area. You can see our Goodwill auto auction camera here, and well, traffic, you can see it there on 35. No problems there, and just a few high, thin cirrus clouds out there. And look at these temperatures across the area. It's 73 right now at the International Airport. A few more clouds up there, but really lots of sunshine in Springfield, Urbana, Wright Pat, with those temperatures upper 60s and low 70s. And here's a look at live Doppler 2 HD. Certainly no precipitation here. We will see some maybe in about 24 hours from now or a little bit later than that. But yeah, we will see some showers and maybe even a couple of thunderstorms late day Tuesday into Tuesday evening. But if you are heading out this evening, no problem whatsoever, no matter whether you want to keep this party going until midnight. You can see we will be dry at 7 o'clock, 75 degrees. Very pleasant then. Still comfy at 9 o'clock, 68. And at 11 o'clock, down to 61 degrees. We will see increasing clouds overnight. But overall, it is going to be very, very pleasant. And tomorrow, it won't certainly be a washout. It does look like late afternoon into early evening when we begin to see some of those showers move into the area. And I'll have more on that and have your detailed 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Guys?
All right, thanks, Steve. Right now, we're taking a live look at the NASA satellite camera. This is across that path of totality. And of course, there are still other areas throughout the United States right now that are still seeing totality. This is in Holton, Maine.
Yeah, there will not be another total eclipse in Ohio's path in our lifetime. The rarity of it all not lost on the people here in the Miami Valley. We've been preparing for this big day for months, some people even years ahead of time, and tourists have done the same as they've all flocked to this area to see the path of totality here in the Miami Valley. And still ahead, we're going to check back in with our crews in Troy, how organizers say the plans panned out and if they were prepared enough.
And some places experienced that eclipse to its fullest. We're going to get a live check from Wapakoneta after people witnessed a maximum eclipse. And of course, we're taking a look at what things look like across most of the Miami Valley right now. Be sure to stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, the total eclipse is over now, but we're back in the partial phase as the moon starts to move out.
We're checking in with Miami County residents, after seeing this once-in-a-lifetime celestial event. 2 News reporter Aaliyah Seabrooks has been live for us in downtown Troy all afternoon. Aaliyah, how is everyone feeling there?
Brooke and Caleb, people are so excited for the total eclipse that happened just a few minutes ago here in downtown Troy. And we are speaking with one person who got to see that for herself up close and personal. Can you talk a little bit about what it was like that moment that the moon just totally eclipsed the sun?
It was unreal. It wasn't, I geeked out. I'd watched all the videos on YouTube and TikTok, and they talked about it, and they said it was going to be such a spiritual experience, and I just thought they were being dramatic. But when it happened and everything went to twilight, it was so incredible. It really reminds you of your place in this universe, and I can't describe it. It really was spiritual. It really was incredible. It was unreal.
And I know you, when we were speaking earlier, you said that this was your first time seeing one in totality. What was it like seeing it in totality compared to the other times?
It was incredible. I mean, the other times, it just seemed like, a storm was coming in. But this was just like, it was hard to believe it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It just seemed like it was, the sun had just set, so the difference was night and day, literally.
Literally. Yeah, so what brought you to Troy specifically? I know you're not from the area. Where are you from?
We're from LaPorte, Indiana, which is about a half an hour east of Chicago. My husband's family lives right down the road, so we decided to come in for that. So we lucked out with our path.
Yeah, how lucky for you all to have some family in such a prime viewing spot. Troy was one of the best viewing spots in the state to see the total eclipse. So now that you've seen it, was that the truth?
Yes, 100%, 100%. I watched how people they go around the world, they're eclipse chasers, and I get it now. I get the draw, the pull to want to see that. So, and the people of Troy did an incredible job organizing this. This event was fantastic.
And then can you talk a little bit about the moment that it happened? I was here, I got to hear the applause, hear the shift in the atmosphere. What did you experience?
It was great hearing, just that connection you have with everybody else, experiencing something that is once in a lifetime. You're sharing that experience, but at the same time, again, you're reminded of how small you are in this universe and how you're part of something that's so much bigger than you, and being able to share that with everybody at that moment, it was unreal. Yeah. It was incredible.
Yeah, and then you talk a little bit about, people being eclipse chasers. People go all around the world to see an eclipse in totality. So, now that you've gotten bit by the bug, do you see yourself following a few more eclipses?
Yes, definitely. Yes, 100%. Yeah, I get it now. I get it. I really thought people were being over dramatic, and all the videos they had on the internet, they're not. It really is that amazing.
Awesome. And then you had one more, a shout out for your class.
Yes, Kingsbury Elementary School. Hi, it's Mrs. Adamski. I saw it. It was really, really great. So I hope you guys were safe when you wore your glasses.
Yes, Miss Adamski makes sure that you all wore your glasses today during the total eclipse viewing event. We were here in Troy. We saw it, and it was wonderful. And we can't wait until the next one, whenever we can see it anywhere around the world. But we got our passes here today in Troy. So we are so excited, and we're going to send things back to you all in the studio.
All right, thank you, Aaliyah. Let's also dig into the science behind the eclipse. 2 News anchor John Seibel spoke with the only NASA center in the path of totality ahead of time to see how researchers took advantage of the rare event.
It is a big day for scientists. They have known that this day was coming for a long time. Now it's here. But what's the scientific significance behind the eclipse? And why is there so much hype behind it? Joining me now to explain is Chris Hartenstein, the public engagement lead for NASA's Glenn Research Center in Cleveland. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate your time with us, Chris.
It's a pleasure to be here.
You know what, Chris, I think of this and I think of football. The Super Bowl comes in football every year. This, however, not an every year type of an event. This has to be so much bigger than the Super Bowl for you and the scientific community.
Well, it's both, right? So you're correct that this does, and a total solar eclipse tends to happen once every 18 to 24 months. And so it's not always over land. A lot of times it's over the oceans. A lot of times it's in low inhabited places. So in this case, yeah, absolutely. This eclipse, because of its path of totality, I would definitely say it's bigger than Super Bowl, because not only is it not just a single arena location, we're talking across the entire north to or south to north path across the United States. But we have millions of people either that live in the path or that can easily get to the path. So it's definitely a huge day. Really excited.
All right, Chris, I really want to nerd out with you here for a second, because if you look at the width of the path of totality through Ohio and compare that to just how much surface area there is on this planet, and then also the fact that the moon is 250,000 miles away, that the sun is nearly 100 million miles away, just the mathematics that go into this for this one moment in time, just how scientifically or mathematically freakish is this event?
Well, it's very unique. I mean, you're right. The math is a perfect thing for our sun, earth, and moon. So we're talking about that the sun is 400 times approximately farther away than the moon, and the sun is also approximately 400 times bigger than the moon. So that magic proportion is what allows us to get this really amazing, unique scenario where the entirety of the disk of the moon can cover the entirety of the disk of the sun in our sky. It's the same reason why the moon and the sun look similarly sized in the sky anytime that you can see both of them. But in these unique scenarios with the total solar eclipse, we get this awesome situation that you can't possibly see the same way anywhere else in the solar system. So the moons of Mars are too small to be able to give you that same view and that same look. And the moons with Jupiter and Saturn and further out, the sun is just a little dot in the sky. So we just have a very unique front row seat to this amazing phenomenon in a very pristine and unique way that you can't get anywhere else in the solar system.
We are just the perfect distance from the moon and the sun then for this. You know what, Chris, we're going to be sitting here on the ground and we're going to be observing this phenomenon as just passersby, just observing it, just regular old people. But for your line of work, this is completely different. This is a scientific event. So how is NASA using this for science?
Well, so we have a couple of different things. The biggest thing to consider when we're talking about utilizing eclipses for science is the fact that by nature, the sun disk is very, very bright. It's glaringly bright, not just to our own eyes, but also to any kinds of sensors or data that we might be gathering looking towards the sun. So we utilize these opportunities to be able to get a beautiful look at the sun's corona, the atmosphere of the sun. Because it is normally too faint to see, except when we get in this unique eclipse scenario, it gives us an opportunity to study how solar wind, that's the bursts of energy coming out of the sun and through the sun's atmosphere, how that works in a way that we just can't see normally when the disk of the sun is so glaringly bright. And so we can utilize scientific data and we can create models of how the solar atmosphere works. And then that helps us to move into predictions about how solar wind, solar weather, it does happen as these ejections come through the solar system. And even when they get to Earth, they can cause disruptions. They are electromagnetic, so they can cause disruptions in communications and satellite data. So it helps us to model how this may affect us here on Earth in a way. It makes it more accurate, so we can more accurately predict how those ejections might create some problems for us, so we can move forward positively with it.
So NASA Glenn's the only NASA center in the path of totality of this particular event. Now, the rest of us commoners, we're going to be celebrating with moon pies and all kinds of parties and stuff like that. So how do you and your fellow scientists celebrate up at NASA Glenn for this?
We're actually coming to you from downtown Cleveland, which is the Great Lakes Science Center is the home of our center's NASA Visitor Center, the NASA Glenn Visitor Center. And so all weekend we have been showcasing and celebrating not just the eclipse. We want to make sure everybody knows about this really, really awesome celestial event, but also what NASA does that benefits their everyday lives. So we're talking about aeronautics improvements. We're talking about Artemis and going back to the moon. You know, we're sitting here looking at the moon as it gets ready to get in front of the sun. We want to know that, hey, out there, 250,000 miles away, as you put it, we're looking to get back to the moon here by the end of the decade. And we want to make sure everybody is aware and interested. And so we're showcasing Artemis and the science and technology and the research that we're doing up here at NASA Glenn to get ready for those missions and make them possible to get us back on the moon here, very, very soon, as possible. Starting with Artemis coming up in 2025, Artemis 2 coming in 2025, going around the moon, and then getting back on the ground at the moon shortly after.
Chris, I've really enjoyed geeking out with you. I could sit here and I could talk to you all day. I love this kind of stuff. I appreciate your time. Chris Hartenstein, the public engagement lead for NASA's Glenn Research Center in Cleveland. Enjoy the eclipse, Chris, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to use your glasses.
All right, thanks, John. Well, look, humans, we were not the only ones that were intrigued by the solar eclipse today.
Yeah, animals, both wild and domesticated, are responding to the lack of light. And Storm Team 2 meteorologist Cameron Saliga explains why.
Wild animals are programmed to hunt either during the day or during the night. But what happens when the day briefly turns to night in the afternoon?
They use environmental cues to trigger those behaviors. So the act of it getting dark or getting light is, sensed by their eyes and, connecting to circuits in their brain, telling them to do one versus the other thing.
Animals use what they can see to determine if they should hide or hunt for food. For diurnal animals like dogs and chickens who are out during the day, they may become confused at the sudden onset of darkness.
For certain animals, when it gets dark, that means one thing. That means go and hide. You're done for the day. Wait till the predators are gone, and then you can come back out when it gets light again.
The opposite is true for dawn, dusk, and nocturnal hunters, who will briefly come out. You may notice in the summer evenings, insects and animals chirping. The solar eclipse brief totality will result in early mating calls.
There'll be things like spring peepers active at that time. And spring peepers are a frog, a very small frog that produce mating calls. And they make those mating calls as it's getting dark in the evening throughout the early parts of the night.
Domesticated animals could respond to the lack of sunlight, but should not be a big concern for pet owners.
I doubt their behavior will change that much. They might be intrigued a little bit. But again, given that this won't last that long, I don't think there'll be any big changes to worry about.
All right, taking a live look at traffic now that everybody has had a great time and seen this historic eclipse today. A lot of them are going to be heading back home, giving you a live look at the roads. This is I-75 south of 675. Certainly more drivers on the roads than there were about a half an hour ago, but we're going to keep an eye on things and let you know if it starts to pick up even more. Kelly's going to have a check of traffic after the break. Well, the day finally arrived as the Miami Valley experienced a total solar eclipse, and so many people are still in awe.
Yeah, they are, including those who went to the Air Force Museum to check it all out. John and Brian were there today at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force, where they've been hanging out with eclipse enthusiasts all day. Looks like they have some people with them right now. Hey, John.
Hey, Caleb. Hey, Brooke. We found some really cool people. I mean, again,
yeah, we
Brian,
did.
Yeah, I don't know how many people were here. I know they were planning for 30,000 people. All I know is there were a lot of people here. A lot of people have left, and there's still a lot of people here. And we found some people here who got to experience the eclipse along with us. India and family as well. India, thank you so much for being with us. Tell me what you thought about this eclipse.
It was the most supernatural, omnipotent, and peaceful feeling I've ever felt. It was totally magical.
You know, they were asking us earlier to describe that feeling. It was almost as if there were no words, but when we saw totality for those 2 minutes and 40 seconds, what were you feeling?
Honestly, all I could say was, my God. It was just so magical, honestly. It's really nothing you could really put completely into words. It's truly indescribable.
Yeah, for many, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You got to experience it with family, including my man over there, Jalen. Jalen, tell me, 9 years old, by the way. This is a good early birthday present for when you turn 10 in September. But tell me what you thought of this whole eclipse day.
It was so, I don't know, it was so cool.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That is the perfect word for it. And speaking of cool, oh, I got it tangled up on a spoon. Speaking of cool, they are celebrating with some pretty cool treats, Brian. They got the Kona ice over here. They know what to do.
Smart move.
That's right.
And I'm here with another family. You guys want to tell us who you are?
I'm Beth. This is Mandy.
And a future astronaut, Melanie?
Melody.
Melody. And you want to be, you're telling me you want to be an astronaut?
Yep.
Wow. So you're from Batavia, Ohio.
Yes,
so you got a little bit of a drive back, and you said you're kind of waiting for the crowds to thin out a little bit. Yes. All right. What was your impression of the whole eclipse?
Oh, it was a blast. You know, we've never been up here. I mean, I've lived here all my life and honestly never really knew that this was all up here. So we planned for, a couple weeks and just decided to come spend the day.
So, just the day. So you're heading back. You came in this morning then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just a one-day trip, which makes sense because I guess the hotels were pretty expensive. But I'm more impressed that you want to be an astronaut. So I take it you're studying a lot of math and science right now?
Yeah.
In STEM? What's your favorite subject?
Probably science.
So you're probably thinking more physics, like planetary motion and things like that if you're going to be an astronaut? Well, meteorology. Meteorology gets a lot of students into other sciences. They kind of start off with that because I think we all know weather, so we're all fascinated with that. Well, good luck. I know a good aeronautical school. It's called Purdue University. They teach great, Neil Armstrong's from there. I'll put in a word for you.
Yeah.
But you got to root for the Boilers tonight in the finals.
Nice. You know what, Brian? Indian family are from Dayton too, and I thought India, you put it so well when you talked about experiencing the eclipse here at the National Museum of the Air Force. Why did that just take on a different level of significance for you?
Just because of all the historical events that happened with the Wright brothers, and then you have Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and you have the stars, the moon, the sun coming together. It just makes everything cohesive.
This is the place to be. Well,
Yes.
India, thank you so much for you and your family for joining us as well, and thank you so much for being with us here.
Guys, and good luck. Have a safe trip back. And like I said, make sure you check out the Wright Memorial the next time you're here. I've never managed to get the Wright plane off the ground without stalling.
You've never had the right stuff.
Trees. I don't have the right stuff for sure.
Yeah, we'll join you guys in just a little bit as well. Later on, we're going to be talking with the lead singer of the Air Force Band of Flight.
We'll get him to sing a little
Yep. We're going to have the lead singer here. We're going to talk with the director of the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force as well, coming up a little bit later as well. So plenty still ahead of us here, but we're going to send it back to you guys right now in the studio.
All right, thanks, John and Brian. It's funny because the eclipse events are winding down, but it seems like those two are winding up. They're getting ready for the day.
Hey, our crews have the energy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We're going to check back in live and see how everything is going. Storm Team 2 meteorologist Cameron Saliga is at the Sunwatch Village Museum. How's it going there, Cameron?
Yeah, it's beautiful here, and we watched the total solar eclipse. Got really dark, and it was just an amazing sight to see here. Never seen one in my life, total solar eclipse, but I did see a partial eclipse. Nothing the same. Now we are joined here with Jill Krieg of the Dayton Society of Natural History, and they are putting on this event here today. How was it? Was it a success? Was it everything that you guys hoped for?
Yeah, it was a great success. We had a great crowd of people, and everybody was so enthusiastic and positive, so I'd say it was definitely a big win for us.
And, you know, the proceeds will go to help build and maintain this place. How important is it to share the knowledge of indigenous people with the people around the Miami Valley?
It's extremely important for many reasons. So we're here at Sunwatch Village. This was inhabited about 800 years ago by a culture that archaeologists call the Fort Ancient. So it's very important for us to teach that Native American people were here and they have a very deep history, and it continues today, and the Native American community and the indigenous community is very vibrant and alive, and that's kind of one of our big messages that we're trying to teach.
And why is it so important to preserve this?
Well, if you think about archaeology and the archaeological record, there are a finite number of these things that exist in the world. So at one point, if things keep getting developed without being documented, they're all going to be gone. So it's our jobs to be stewards of the past and to protect the past and keep sites like this accessible so people can continue to learn and love this place for generations to come.
And speaking of the event, you know, how cool was it to see a total solar eclipse here in Dayton? Didn't even have to move.
Yeah, it's so great. And, you know, Sunwatch in particular is such a special place, such a unique place. And for me personally, as an archaeologist, to be able to spend my day here was definitely very memorable, and I'll never forget it.
And, you know, what would you say to the public about this place? You know, maybe some person has never heard of it.
Yeah.
Why should they come on down here?
Yeah, I would say there are museums that you can visit all over the country, but when you come to Sunwatch, we have these reconstructed elements here. We have houses that you can walk in, and what makes them so special is they are on the exact archaeological footprint of where they were 800 years ago. So the structures are contemporary, but they're on the exact spots where people lived their lives, and it's just a full experience that really takes you back and helps you connect and have empathy for the people of the past.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. It's been a great day out here at the Sunwatch Indian Village. Live in Montgomery County, meteorologist Cameron Saliga, 2 News.
All right, thank you, Cameron. We want to go to Darke County now, where a local high school is cleaning up after its eclipse party.
In partnership with the local library, Bradford High School curated a program for students and families of all ages to enjoy the day and learn a little bit. 2 News reporter Grace Hewitt was there all day. She's checking back in with school officials and organizers after the big day. Grace?
Hey guys, yes, we are wrapping up here at the All Eyes on the Skies event, and as you can see behind me, you know, some chairs still here, but most of the people have cleared out for the day and gone home. But joining me now is the Superintendent Joe, that has one of these. You're also one of the masterminds behind this event. So how was this event for you? What was your experience like?
Well, this was a wonderful event. We're part of a great little district here in a great little town. We're always looking for ways to help our kids and grow, and this was just a learning experience for our kids we wanted to share with them.
Absolutely, and I think you guys have Miami Valley beat because you had Galileo. You're lucky. You had Galileo, so that automatically makes Darke County kind of one of the top. How's that?
Of course, Galileo's a wonderful person, and of course, having him here today to speak today was a great added.
And if you had to send a message to the organizers who helped put this on, what would you kind of say to them?
Oh my gosh, we have such a great partnership with our library down here and Stacy Lehman and the group. None of this would have happened without them, so we appreciate everything they do, not only for today, but for our kids in general.
And for you, what was your favorite part of this event?
Oh, just how dark it got so fast, and seeing how the kids react. Everybody screamed and yelled when the eclipse happened. It was really, really cool to see them all together here and experience this as a group.
Absolutely. That was going to be my next question. You know, as superintendent, to see those kids' faces light up, everyone was running around screaming, everyone had a great time. That's got to feel great.
It does your heart warm. It does. It really does a good thing, and it shows that our community is warm-hearted and really wants to be together for something like this.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for having us here for this event. And we're wrapping up All Eyes on the Skies here in Darke County. Live in Bradford, Grace Hewitt, 2 News.
All right, thanks, Grace. What a great experience, though, for those students and families. I'm sure they learned a lot today.
Now, Darke County was in the maximum eclipse path. So was Auglaize County. So let's check back in with 2 News reporter Sartaj Singh. He is live for us tonight in Wapakoneta. Sartaj?
Yeah, I'm here with Dante Santori, the executive director of the Armstrong Air and Space Museum. We were just talking beforehand how amazing this whole experience was. So walk me through it. You know, you guys have been preparing for this for maybe about more than a year?
Years, yeah.
So talk about just finally having it happen. How does it feel?
It just feels awesome. I mean, you know, with an eclipse, you worry about the weather. That's out of your control. You can only prepare what you can prepare for. But we're just so happy with the outcome. A lot of people came here. We're open till 7. People are seeing the museum. They're coming to Wapakoneta, and the eclipse was beautiful. Oh my goodness! The corona was so bright. We saw that bright prominence on the south. Nature did not disappoint.
Exactly, it did not disappoint, and we heard people cheering, clapping, and stuff. So really just goes to show, you know, how amazing that experience was. Once in a lifetime.
A total solar eclipse is the only natural phenomena that I've seen get a standing ovation, and I've seen that happen twice now.
You've seen it happen twice, so this is not your first rodeo with the solar eclipse.
2017 I drove out to Jefferson City, Missouri, and saw it there, and it was the same kind of feeling. But this was a longer eclipse. The corona was bigger and brighter than I remember. We didn't have that prominence in the south that we did today, and I just can't wait to see all the pictures because I didn't take any. I was too busy looking at the sky.
I was also too. I was like, okay, we need to make sure. Oh my God, I need to take a picture. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. But one other thing too, you know, this is the home of Neil Armstrong.
Yes.
First man on the moon. And it just goes to show many, many years later, people are still looking up at the moon. And it just goes to show there's a deep connection to nature, solar eclipse, the moon, right here, Neil Armstrong, home of Neil Armstrong, Wapakoneta.
Yeah, a lot of people just made that connection. Here's an event that involves the moon, and when they saw that the hometown of Neil Armstrong is in the path of totality, and pretty close to the center, I might add, and they see the Neil Armstrong, the museum, they see the Wapakoneta, and a lot of people just naturally converged here. And you saw all the people having their property. I could only guess. I might have to look at photos, but you know, we might have had close to 10,000 on our lawn. People are just all over. Lawn chairs, telescopes, just enjoying this. And the team did a fantastic job here preparing for this day and making sure everyone's having a good time.
Yeah, and those people are still staying around here, going into the museum too, so that's great to also see. Now, thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you for taking the time to talk with us. We appreciate it. We'll send it back to you, Wapakoneta, Sartaj Singh, 2 News.
All right, thank you, Sartaj. Well, Logan County was also in the maximum eclipse path today.
Yep, 2 News reporter Allison Gant is live in Logan County. She's been at Mad River Mountain all day long. Allison, what was it like up there?
Yeah, good afternoon. We've been having a lot of fun out here on Mad River Mountain, and it was the place to be here in Logan County to catch that totality. Everybody got so excited when we went into darkness here with applause and shouting and excitement. But one thing that made that a big moment here was for those out here taking pictures. Right now I'm joined by Ryan, who came in from Columbus. He's an Ohio State student, and he said that he was here to capture the eclipse. So Ryan, tell me a little bit about what that experience was like.
Yeah, so that's a great question. It's actually a long time coming. I woke up at like 6:45 this morning, and I was like, okay, I've got a plan for how I'm gonna shoot this eclipse today. Weather permitting, of course. That's the greatest variable in my kind of work. So yeah, I've been out here ever since like 10:30, 11 o'clock. I had the scope set up, and I was just tracking the sun. It's a long time process, and I'm trying to get like that shot of the moon as it transits across the sun, and it takes a lot of work, and you know, I've paid the price for it. I got a lot of sunburns, but I think it was definitely worth it. The thrill of the hunt and then seeing that totality as it passed across was just, I've never seen it before in my life, and I'm so privileged and honored that I got the chance to see it today.
So you told me that you've been around the world to do photography. Can you tell me about some of the other photography experiences you've had?
Yeah, of course. So I'm in college right now. I'm at Ohio State. Go Bucks. And I'm an aviation management student, so I like to specialize in taking photos of airplanes as they like try to fly across, and especially going to international airports. Like I've been to LAX, I've been to Chicago O'Hare, I've been to London Heathrow, all over the world, and I'm only just getting started of just seeing those international arrivals and just people coming all over the world to conglomerate in one single spot. I think that's one of the great things about my line of work, is just how it unites everyone in the community and just people working together to create some spectacular images. And so that's one of the reasons I've kept at it for so long.
So this moment, the totality here, they're saying it's a once in a lifetime moment. So how would you say would stack up to some of the other photography experiences you've had?
It's definitely up there in the amount of, or just the level of photos that I've taken. I've gotten some truly spectacular shots, and this one definitely is second to none. So I was truly amazed, and even the equipment that I have set up, I was like just rushing around, because totality, it's only like 3.5 minutes long. So I had to rush around and get all those perfect shots that I wanted to be perfect, but sometimes things happen and not everything was perfect, but I'm proud of my efforts, and the community that I had here today was just fantastic. If you hear the cheering when we hit totality, I was just blown away. It's indescribable, honestly. So I'm glad we were all here today to witness it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ryan, for talking with me about your photography. It was really cool. I had a chance to watch you taking some of the pictures there as the moon was leaving the sun, rather. And we'll look forward to seeing some of those photos as well. But for now, live in Logan County, I'll send it back to you guys.
Now, the Miami Valley's certified most accurate forecast with Storm Team 2.
And good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Steve Norris back here in the studio, and I got a really cool shot. In fact, a little time lapse from our camera located at Poe Avenue and 75. Take this full screen. I'm going to just step you through it, and this is really neat to see this happen. You can see all the street lights come on. It's getting darker and darker as we head up to 309, and here we are. And then suddenly we are in totality there, and then we come out of it. One more time, just to see this. Very neat there on the north side of town as the street lights come on, the birds went silent, and it was definitely a whole lot cooler there. So very neat to see that. Today we were in the 70s. So take a look at our high temperature day. We topped out at 73 degrees. And we may even go a degree or so higher before all is said and done. That after a morning low of 48. And as we look at the forecast for this evening, if you're going to be heading out, it's going to remain nice for the next several hours. 74 degrees at 7 o'clock with really lots of sunshine still. And then just a few more clouds as we head through the evening hours. 68, still very comfy at 9 o'clock. 62 at 11 o'clock. As we move through the day tomorrow, we'll start off with 58 degrees, 66 at noon. And as we get into, I think, late afternoon, that's when we stand the chance for starting to see a few showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. Here's the satellite map over the last few hours, and Mother Nature cooperated. We all got to see the total solar eclipse. Thank goodness for that. And now the clouds can come, and they will come tomorrow. Skies will be mostly cloudy. Area of low pressure over Minneapolis, a trailing cold front, and that will start to move in late tomorrow evening and overnight, and it's going to have plenty of moisture to deal with. Lots of Gulf moisture. It's very stormy there over the deep south. In fact, a severe thunderstorm watch there, but all that moisture is going to be streaming up into our area, not just tomorrow evening, but for the next several days. We're looking at some heavier rain, especially Wednesday night and Thursday. 71, still very mild out there. Winds out of the west and southwest at 6. Humidity, very comfortable, 42, the dew point at 47, and the pressure holding steady. All around the Miami Valley, we've seen temperatures well into the 70s, cooling off just a little bit to 68 in Wapakoneta. Richmond, you're at 68 degrees at 69 in Springfield, but everybody else seeing temperatures in the lower 70s at the moment. Here's Future Track, and we'll step you through the next couple of days on Future Track. Starting tonight, we'll see those partly cloudy skies out there this evening, but later on tonight, after midnight into early tomorrow morning, skies will turn mostly cloudy. Not a lot of sunshine tomorrow, maybe a break or two of sunshine, but as we get into tomorrow afternoon, here we are at 5 o'clock. That's when we will start start to see at least some scattered showers, maybe that isolated thunderstorm, and that will continue as we head into Tuesday evening and maybe even into early Wednesday morning, and then it cuts off. I think most of the day Wednesday will be dry, but as we head into Wednesday night and into Thursday, we will see numerous showers and I think even some thunderstorms and the potential for some heavy rain at that time. So tonight dropping down to 57 degrees, partly cloudy with increasing clouds very late tonight after midnight. So a dry and mild night. And then tomorrow still very mild up to 70 for the high under mostly cloudy skies with that chance for some scattered showers during the afternoon and that potential of an isolated thunderstorm. And here's a look at the next 7 days. On Wednesday, most of the day dry. You see 70% here. That will actually start to come in later on for Wednesday night. And then Thursday looks quite wet. 90% chance of rain. Then we'll cool off on Friday. Still a chance for a few scattered showers, 55 degrees. But as we head into the weekend, looking pretty nice, mid-60s to lower 70s. Only a slight chance of rain on Sunday.
All right, thank you, Steve. Well, we are getting ready to wrap up the show, but before we go, we're going to check back in with John and Brian at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force, giving you a live look here at the aftermath of the museum's viewing party. The sky is, of course, lighting up again. We'll be right back after the break. Here is another live look right now at the sun in Troy. We, of course, are out of totality, and our news director was saying that some of her family members' solar lights came on when we were in the totality of that eclipse. We've heard that from a lot of different people that street lights were coming on, birds were quiet. So yeah, now we're out of it, but you can still see this through your eclipse glasses right now. A lot of people heading home, though, from most of these events. So we want to get a check of traffic. Kelly King is here to let us know how the roads are looking right now. Kelly?
Yeah, this is kind of what we expected. We expected that traffic would be busy around this time because not only do you have people leaving work, but also there are people right now leaving those viewing parties. You can see all of that red and orange there on the map on I-75 southbound, and then a little bit of red as well on 35 eastbound. I want to show you here I-75 at Wagner Ford Road. There is a major backup there. Backup of traffic 75 at State Route 725 over by the Dayton Mall. We have an accident on 75 southbound at State Route 4. It is blocking the left 2 lanes. So you do want to use some caution traveling through there. There is a fire truck on scene as well as a number of police cruisers. Just pack your patience. You want to be careful as you are heading out the door to wherever you're going. If you don't have to go anywhere, stay home. 2 News reporter Kajasia Hawkins is in live drive 2, and right now she is getting on to State Route 844. Kajasia, where are you right now? And tell us how the roads are looking. I know you've been through a few backups as well.
Yeah, Kelly, we've been on the roads all day and things have consistently looked pretty smooth, but we did see some backups. I'll give you a look at the roads where we are right now. We are on State Route 844 north in Fairborn, and we're going towards south on I-75. So far today, the roads were clear, but that has shifted. We've seen a lot more cars later now that the solar eclipse has passed. And those roadways, and on the roadways, we've seen a large amount of out-of-town plates and a lot of RVs and trailers and plenty of people at parks along the way, but still not too bad where we are. And as people head home, ODOT and other traffic safety officials are urging you to practice patience as you navigate on your way home. We got thousands of additional visitors, so that means more cars, more traffic, and we've seen a large influx of coming off of I-675. Now, of course, we will keep you up to date as these traffic conditions change. Reporting in live drive, Kajasia Hawkins.
All right, Kajasia, stay safe out there. Well, the eclipse, it was extra special for One Ohio family. Welcome in the new edition. This is baby Ezra. He was born today. I love that name. Christ Hospital in Cincinnati hooked him up with some eclipse freebies. Check out his onesie. The next eclipse visible from Ohio is $20.99. They'll probably remember that one when it rolls around as well. And we'd like to wish Oliver a very happy birthday. He turned 8 years old today on April the 8th. He's wearing a shirt to celebrate his big day in the eclipse. It says, "My birthday present from the universe," with a picture of a total solar eclipse. Pretty good gift. Happy birthday to Oliver.
Well, several couples also tied the knot during totality in Cincinnati today. Newlyweds gathered in Trenton. A single officiant did the honors, and couples said their vows at the same time. Another mass wedding happened in the Cleveland area where 150 couples said "I do" in Tiffin. Of course, the ceremony ended with Bonnie Tyler's total eclipse of the heart. That is only fitting. And again, a story that they're going to tell their families for the rest of their lives here. Well, as we wrap things up, we want to take one last live look here at NASA's live satellite image.
Yeah, see how things are looking. Of course, our totality is over there. Still parts that are kind of inching through it. But we're going to go back out to Brian and Brian and John. It's been a long day for me. Brian and John, real quick. 1, 2, hey, guys, how are things out there?
1, 2, test.
Testing good.
All right, we're back out here at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force. Brian is checking out the eclipse right now, and you said that we had basically just the slimmest of top hats.
I think it's about over. There's just maybe a sliver of the top of the solar disk that is still not there. So I think we've just about seen the completion of the eclipse.
You know, it's just so amazing thinking about it. I mean, this is your game right here, talking about the weather. The swing that we had from the beginning of the eclipse, which was right about 1:53. Okay, and then over the course of that next hour, 20 minutes until we got to totality, that awe-inspiring 2.5 minutes of totality, and then here we are an hour and a half later, and it's just like nothing ever happened.
It is, and it's just like back. The sun's back. Everything. It cooled off. That was just sitting out here. Of course, you know, we're kind of baking in the sun, and you could just feel as the solar radiation kept getting cut back more and more, we just started cooling off, and it became very comfortable. And then actually a little bit of a chill in the air when the eclipse finally happened.
There was such a I don't want to say eerie, But if you're thinking about very Halloweenish kind of eerie feelings in a way, it had that feel, that tangent feel to it. Just the darkness, the coolness of how the temperature dropped.
Watching the shadow come in from the southwest.
Yeah, I tell you one thing that we have noticed here too is this place is really cleared out over the past 30 minutes.
Food truck line, you can get in there real quick now.
Yeah, many of the food trucks are gone as well. And if you can look behind us over here, you can see that line of vehicles that's trying to get out of the parking lot here at the museum. Hey, how you doing? Did you guys have a good time? Awesome.
Yes.
Everybody had a great time, but you can see that line. It's going to take people a while
and we
to
heard
get out of here.
traffic's backed up on Harshman now, trying to get out to State Route 4.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's been one of those things that, Brian, I wish we could be around in 2099. Because this is pretty impressive.
I think I'd be in so much pain then I don't think I'd want to be here. But it'd be great to be able to see that eclipse.
Yeah. And for this day, for something to be able to eclipse what you're going to be watching tonight as a Purdue guy. And we got the Final Four National Championship tonight. This has just been a wonderful environment as well. You know, we have some real exciting people, exciting interviews coming up over the next hour and a half when we get into the news portion here at 4:30. We're going to be talking with a lead singer for the Air Force National Band of Flight that's going to be joining us.
And they go all over the place.
Yeah, they do.
Not just around here.
They travel quite a bit. They also had to come up with a very unique playlist. I'm curious how many songs they had to come up with just for this event.
Here Comes the Sun. We heard that one.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll have to find out the total.
Yeah, we'll have to get that. We're also going to be talking with the director of the museum as well. So we're going to be looking forward to that because so much planning went into this, and now you want to make sure everybody gets out safely.
Right, get home safely to their location, and it's great that we have all these visitors in town. They get to see what the Gem City's all about, the Dayton region. The Miami Valley, it's a great place to live, great place to raise a family.
Yeah, we'll send it back to you now. We'll be talking with you in just a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks, John and Brian, and thank you for joining us for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Giving you a last live look there in Wapakoneta. First at 4 is coming up next after the break. Again, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. If you are heading home or you're heading out, be careful out there on the roads. Take it easy. Have a great evening.